Yeah, but they're all listening. People are listening to different music too, so like they're all doing like different moves, and it's just really crazy to watch. Like if we're gonna have to, you should do silent disco.
So I would love to do like two things. I would like to watch people dance to silent disco, and I'd like to watch people at like a rock concert. Without the music and see if the dancing is any different.
Yeah.
like, if everybody's in sync or not. I feel like everybody at a rock concert is like doing their own
thing. They wouldn't. They totally wouldn't be. That's what's so awesome about it. It's more spread out too. That's the different music that's so funny. Everybody's on their own like level.
You listen to some reggae, everybody else listens to pop.
Yeah. yeah.
Welcome to the KINGZ podcast. My name is Kerry.
It's your boy Charismatic.
Yo, what's up? It's Irish O'Neal.
Kerry Parsons.
Let's get it.
Podcast. Thank you for joining us once again. Happy New Year to all you beautiful kings and lady kings and queens, if you so choose to be called that. Because Irish made a point that out. I was just watching it. I was like, why are you bringing this up right now? But anyway, so thank you for joining us. Happy New Year. Hopefully you was safe and you're a little bit hungover. But we're here. Yeah. Is anyone here hungover?
I'm not really hungover. I took a 300 milligram weed edible, but I mean I'm feeling okay now.
Like, when did you take it?
Last night.
And you still feel the effects?
No, not really.
Oh, okay.
Like I'm not hungover or anything, but like you know how like
you got to bring murder if you're trying to tranquilize me, dog.
I really don't get hungover anymore.
Really?
I mean, I have to be like really, really drinking hard to get hungover.
Shit.
Like vodka hard.
I don't drink vodka anymore.
Yeah, I don't really either, so I don't get hungover.
Oh, that's fair. Yo, vodka fucked me up once in college and never again. No clear liquors for me, man.
Yeah, my problem drinking them is it's hard to drink like a lot of those straight. So it's like you're mixing it with like a bunch of sugary shit, and like that's what fucks you up. But
yeah, that's true.
I'll stick with beer or just whiskey straight up. That's usually my the old go-to for me.
Yeah, I drink nothing. I drink absolutely nothing. But hey, I still had a good time last night. It was fun. Brought in the new year with some really weird, strange people. They were dancing in a tent actually, and then we had our own ball. So at Bow Market, they had their own ball.
Oh, cool!
Wow, thanks for the invite, bro.
It was somebody recorded it. I think Scott.
Kirby's like, man, I had
Scott
the greatest
Otto.
time.
No, Scott Otto. Yeah, he has it on his Facebook. Yeah, shout out to Scott Otto. He runs the Sally O'Brien's open mic.
Oh yeah, no, he was awesome, man. He let me get up on Monday. Let me snipe this guy's spot.
Oh, nice.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Very gracious of him.
Yeah, he's very nice. I saw him last night too. Obviously because he was there. That was dumb. Anyway, so yeah, welcome to the KINGZ podcast where we talk about the male-female dynamic. And today we have our special guest, Kerry, right? That's
yes.
Okay,
yeah.
great. And
Kerry Parsons.
We're gonna be talking. And,
was that silly? Should I just say my first name?
Oh yeah, the bong is back also.
That's right. It lives.
It lives.
Oh, okay.
So
not today.
Not today.
No, you guys can. I just won't.
Oh, okay,
No,
okay.
it's totally cool. I'm totally cool with it.
Yeah.
Just like
Sure,
I'm
right.
not gonna partake. Sorry.
Then today. Definitely
So-
today. Yes.
Our typical line, we're gonna go through the 3 principles.
You reached over like I was pulling a gun out. You're like, not this time. Let it go.
Oh, I appreciate that though. I
I thought that's what you meant.
Yeah,
Well, the bong is
no,
back,
I
so
really
that's-
appreciate that.
And then we're going to go through our principles, plugs, topics, and then we go finish it off with some clips. And then hopefully we don't scare Kerry for never coming back ever again.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
most
difficult
likely.
to scare.
Okay, good,
Yeah.
good. We're going to try to.
I'll put that to the test. I'll test that one out.
So the first things first, we're going to go into our 3 principles. First principle, to be able to attract these ladies, you need to have confidence. And meaning belief in oneself and one's abilities. And more importantly, you have to believe in your sex appeal. You got to believe your sex say. You know what I'm saying? It's weird now because you're a married woman.
It's
so
true.
I can't
It's
look
true.
over there.
It's true.
So I'm not going to be looking over there.
No.
I got to make sure. Yeah, you got to believe in that. Your thoughts?
Yeah. Mason definitely like feels himself. I
Okay,
mean, that's
there you
really
go.
that's
Yep.
important. I mean, his confidence is what I like about him. You know, that was a big attraction.
So what was his like approach when he first met you? Like, what was his game?
Mason was a zero game. But he's really No, but he's like really, really cute, and he has that accent, so he just laid that on really thick, and it was like.
So he went with
oh.
the charming Southern boy.
Yeah.
See, I don't think Mason can really
Southern
go wrong because he's
hospitality.
he's very likable, and then he asks a lot of questions.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, so like that makes him instantly likable. Like,
I mean, he
that
might
might
not give a
be
shit
his
what the
game.
answer is, but he asks a lot. Yeah, you're right.
I love it. You always feel like you're on the in with him. It's like, yo, I like
Yeah.
this
No,
guy.
he's very inquisitive. Yes, that's a big attraction too. You know, he likes to
Curious.
know a lot lot about things.
Yep.
Yeah, he's open-minded, so it's
he's
good.
very genuine too.
Yes, very,
yes.
very, very.
Yes,
very.
what you see is what you get, 100%. So.
I like that doesn't hold back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he's aggravated, he's aggravated. You don't like you at that moment, you don't like you at that moment. Like I like that type of see-throughness. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
because so many people are in the habit of I probably am primarily one of these people. I sugarcoat everything, but he's one of those people that you always get the most authentic version.
Well,
And-
there's sugarcoating and there's being tactful about what's coming out of your mouth. Right. Mason allows other people to be exactly who they are with Mason because Mason is exactly who he is all the time.
All
so
the
like,
fucking time.
you know, like you love yourself when you're with Mason because he lets you be yourself. Right. So that's what's so awesome about him.
Tremendous.
Yeah. Yeah.
How does that feel? The first pool of 2020?
2020.
You thought he waited this whole time for the first
No,
goal?
since the last one broke.
Yeah, no, for Gerby, this was the first bolt. No,
yeah.
I've been this thing all since yesterday.
Since yesterday, I didn't know when you got it. I just saw it on Facebook today, so in my brain it was today.
Yeah, no.
Second principle. Second principle, you need to have, I call it emotional independence, meaning you are not afraid of her reaction in any way, shape, or form. Just like Mason went up to you, fearless. Whether you have game or don't have game, you can't be afraid of her reaction. A lot of guys are afraid of walking up to women, in particular, women that are very attractive and very beautiful. And hey, there's no reason to have that fear, is what I'm saying. You know, get out there and just approach her. And you know, in the world of online dating, women don't get approached that much anymore either. So you stand out. You be more unique.
Very true.
If you just walk up to her and say, "What's up?"
And I argue that gives us an advantage now because it's, you know, I mean, now a lot of times women haven't had to deal with as much getting approached in person because so much of it happens online now.
Right.
So it kind of, a lot of them are like, whoa.
Yeah.
Also, be ready because I've seen this happen as well. A lot of women don't know how to how to receive being approached in person anymore because it doesn't happen anymore. You know what I mean?
Also, a lot of men don't know how to just like have a woman just say like, "Hey, what's up?"
Oh, we've never known how to do that.
Yeah.
That's never been in the known for guys like that.
Like, wow,
always,
that's so annoying. It's so Mason and I have gotten in so many arguments at bars because like I think somebody that I'm talking to is gay, and he'll be like, "Kerry, they're not gay," and I'm like, "Mason, yes, they are. Like, they told me. Like, I'm convinced. I'm 100% convinced because they're like able to interact, and then like turns out they're not.
So wait,
and,
hold
like,
on.
they've apologized. They've like bought him drinks. They've apologized. Like, oh, I thought like you know.
Wait, because they're able to interact, you think they're gay?
Yeah.
This is all right. We found out.
So I'm a gay man?
Yes, bro.
No.
You just found that out.
No. I mean, I guess I didn't mean to say it that way, but I just find it like more approachable. Like men are more approachable.
It's not offensive. You just let us in on what women are thinking a little bit. Okay. You know what I mean? It's like, wow, this guy can hold a long conversation. He's probably gay.
Like
and then she turns away. Like,
he asks me questions about myself. Like he's interested in what's going on. He's not just like talking about comedy 24/7. That's you know, you got to have some.
So you mean this whole time been coming off as gay? Like,
yeah,
I didn't know.
I don't ask you.
I asked specifically those questions.
I don't ask you
yeah,
those questions.
I mean, most men don't. So if you are asking me those questions, I'm like, okay, this person. I mean, he's obviously like he's not looking to get with me because he's asking me questions. Like he's not trying to find out. He's not asking me the questions that a man that is looking to hook up with me would be asking in a bar. In a bar.
I'm flabbergasted. This is interesting.
What makes you think he's not just a patient man?
No, but what are those questions? I want to know those questions.
Because do those exist? I don't know.
Yeah, they get friend zoned.
I haven't met many of them.
I'm curious to ask, what are those questions a man should ask if he wants to? If he wants to get across that he wants to get with you.
You just said you don't have many of them. How many male friends do you have?
I've always had male friends.
So you have many of them. So you have very patient guys.
I have many. I didn't have girlfriends until I like went to college and got older. And
good on you. Good on you.
I mean, it wasn't up to me. Just women just really didn't like me. I don't know. It was really like I got picked on in school like really badly. So.
I feel like young women taint each other. Like
it's a rough
Yes.
teenage
because
few
there's so much
years.
jealousy surrounded
Yes.
by each other that
Now,
they'll lie to each other all the time.
Do you think that any of those guy friends of yours wouldn't hook up with you if you hit them up and was like, "Hey, come over right now"?
I mean, most of them are like older and married and like serious relationships now.
Wait, so you think that stops anything? No, we need to know.
No, I guess I don't think it stops everything, but
You think
I
they're
don't know.
truly friends, or they would go, "No."
See, I don't like the way you put that. Like, just like sex to some people is not a big like emotional thing. It
some
doesn't mean they're
people.
any less of friends.
Some
It just
people. Most people
The
it is,
question
though.
is initially, do you think they would sleep with you if you offered it up or not?
I mean, I think there are some people that would sleep with anybody if they gave them the option.
Exactly.
So
And that's what I'm saying too. But I would
I guess
say
there are
that
a couple
majority of
those.
them, yeah.
there are a couple of those, I guess.
But is that truly a friend?
What makes them not a friend about that? Like,
Friends
Well,
sleep
yeah,
together all the
from whose-
time. I
Yeah.
would think. I
From
think
whose
friends sleep
perspective?
together all the time.
I wouldn't fuck my friends.
From whose
I would.
From whose perspective? Which
I'm
perspective?
flattered. You fuck me?
I mean, with those pigtails, wow. I mean, woo.
Something to hold on to.
Who's saying? I mean, what are you saying?
No, I wouldn't let
Depends.
you have sex with me, Charismatic, because we're friends.
That'd be crossing a boundary for you, but that's a boundary
Yeah,
for
for
you. That's
you.
a boundary for you, and that's
'Cause
okay. I respect that. Everybody should
Equally.
respect that boundary.
I can respect that as
As
well.
your friend,
if I'm,
they should
if
respect
I'm your
that
friend,
boundary.
we're not fucking.
And the first thing first off, I've always been attracted to attractive women. If I find you attractive, I'm likely going to be trying to become friends with you. Not trying to sleep with you, but like you got my eye. I'm trying to now be your friend. But at the end of the day, you are still attractive to me, and I will let you know you are attracted to me. Don't put sex on the table. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, like
That's what
I'm not
I'm
the
saying.
type. I'm not the type to take advantage of people. So like, if you're in a down mood or something, you're not getting any.
It's a dress.
Like, you know what I mean?
Like, what is this? Are we just friends, or is there other shit? That's
Yeah,
on the
transparency.
table? And
Transparency.
Only,
Friends, it's like,
transparency
cool.
is always
Just
the best thing
friends.
to go with.
Yeah, I mean, I
Transparency.
think the first thing I said to you was, "Oh, I think you're." I walked up to you and
Yeah,
your man, and I was like,
first thing.
"You
Actually, first
are
thing.
absolutely amazing." And I was like,
Thank you.
"Mason, I am sorry, I had to say it. Let's be completely straightforward with this." You know what I mean? Have I ever
I
once
mean,
made
it's
you
not,
feel weird?
You weren't hitting on me.
Exactly,
No, you're
like-
just complimenting me, and that's fine.
And let everybody knows where we all stand now.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
it's all respect.
no,
It's
I
all
mean, plus
respect.
I know that Mason would like wipe the floor with whoever was.
Yo, I
actually
would
trying
never
to get
like.
me,
I would
so-
never like. Just don't even.
I
This would not
still
happen.
remember this last heckle fest. Mason got up there and someone towards the end said just something from the crowd that he didn't like, and you all saw it. There was just this moment, his demeanor just changed.
Yo,
he
like-
was like up there, like, and then it was just
I don't know. I don't think
I
it
was
was
like, oh,
that. I
God.
think he was disappointed in his performance.
no.
overall.
It was no. Well, I think it was building to that, but dude, there was one.
Well, then
guy,
that was like
and
the cherry on top.
I know.
Like,
I know who
not
it
good.
was. I know who it was.
like every time I see you and Mason, I have to convince myself I can approach you guys.
Why?
I'm like, no, because like Mason gives off when Mason's with you, he gives off a different aura. It's like,
Does he?
he's like
He's very protective.
he's like a lion with his pride. You know what I'm saying? Like when he's with, it's such like it's
That's a
such
good.
a
That's a
different
good
aura.
Southern boy right there.
No, it really is. Like it's respectable as fuck, but it's like, yo, you know this guy, you could approach him. It's like, I don't know, not right now. Like
we were. Let me tell you the story real quick. So we were in New Orleans and we were like in the casino and Mason's ordering a drink and I'm standing here with one of my girlfriends and I guess there's this guy behind me and Mason's got his eye on him, but I'm just standing there and he's like working up his courage to like say hello to me. So he finally does. He he walks right into the middle of us and he's like, "Hey, I'm Steve." And I'm like, "Hey," and Mason just looks at him and he's like, "Don't fucking talk to her." I'm like, "Mason," and he's like, and the guy's like, "Oh, excuse me," and Mason's like, "You heard me. Don't fucking talk to her."
Yup.
And he just and then just turns back around to get his drink from the bar, and so I was just like, "Oh God, I can't even."
you get the aura, and like that's probably why he had to work up the courage. Like you get that aura. Like it's like someone walks by you. It's like, why did it just get sticky? Why did just what is? What's going on? It's
I
like
think his nervousness was more had to do with you being beautiful and everything like that.
Oh,
It wasn't
thank you.
Mason's energy, but
part of it.
Mason's like the man in the room.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
he,
no
he
question,
is
no
like
question, no
you know.
question about that. So I wanted to ask you again. There's three. You can think of the 3 top questions a guy have to ask you for you to get your mindset that he's not trying to be your friend, but he is trying to get with you. Just to go back to that.
So wait. So he's trying to get with me.
yes. What are the questions?
Like, is he trying? Is this a patient man, or is
No,
this
no,
the
no, this is
man
a
that's
very
trying to get with me
impatient
right
man.
now? This is the man that's trying to get with me right now.
He's trying to get
You
with
could
you
have
tonight.
announced it, bro.
Yay!
Yeah! Happy New Year!
Yay!
Popped already.
We shouldn't have let him hold that. We shouldn't have let him hold it. He ruined it. He ruined it.
Here's what
No,
I was
that's
trying to
okay.
go for. I was trying the whole time I was waiting for Gerby to look away, and I was hoping it was gonna pop louder, and I was gonna try and scare him, but I missed him with my foot.
I don't easily scare,
Yeah,
by the way.
I found out now he's not an easy scare.
You have to
That's
touch me
alright.
to scare me. You
But
can't-
yeah, what questions would like off the top of your head would allow you to notice that this is the guy that he's looking to
He
get?
don't
Yep,
want
yep.
friendship. He doesn't want
Yeah.
anything. Like
Can I get you a drink?
that. Okay.
Do you have a boyfriend?
Okay,
Write
that's
this down,
fair.
Write this down.
That's
and,
fair.
And do you have friends with you?
Okay. There you go.
That's how I would know.
Write all
Huh.
those down, Kings.
So
Are you
that's
here,
interesting.
yeah, are you here with friends, or like, what are you doing here?
Because most of my guys' friends wouldn't ask 2 of those questions
Thank you.
because they don't care if you have a man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but they're looking to gauge if one's here with you.
A lot of times now it's not even relevant.
They don't care.
Oh no.
most of my friends they don't care.
Really?
No.
Well, what if
I
they're
scan the
like
room
ready to
first.
get into a fight at any moment?
They're just gonna scan if they haven't seen one like following you around, or they'll just wait. If they see one with you,
Interesting.
they'll just wait.
Yeah,
They'll
yeah.
eyeball and then
Interesting.
you get a time alone to follow.
No, I mean, I guess it's happened before, so I'm not surprised. But I mean, men, they're all different approaches. That's just how those questions in that realm is how I would like. That's how I would gauge.
That's fair. That's
great.
fair.
If somebody came up to me and said, like, you know, what are your dreams for the future, and like, you know, what kind of house do you want to live in 10
I'd say-
years?
She's
Like,
like,
exactly. Like, I'm gonna be
I'd
like, oh,
fuck
okay.
off.
You
If,
know?
if that's how someone approached me, what are your dreams?
You know, and more
God.
people need to
I
approach
would tell
people that
somebody my
way.
dreams.
More people need to
If that
approach
was their
people that way.
opening-
People
Yeah,
need
that
to
would
be
be
thinking
if a
about
girl
those
came up to me and said,
questions.
what are your dreams? I'll tell her.
And-
Yeah,
tell her
people
my
need to be
dreams.
thinking about those questions more often.
But it's
I
all
think.
based on how attractive she is.
What are your dreams? I don't know.
Everybody should always be talking.
I don't know
about that anyway.
when I wake up. There's like a finite amount of time where I remember my dreams. So like you'd have to be there.
No,
with
your
me.
dreams, like
Fine,
for
I-
the.
What are you talking about? What
He's making a bad
Oh.
joke.
No, you're actual.
He's making a bad
oh,
joke.
Yeah, yeah.
He got her. She was like, no.
For real, you-
See, that's me. Sometimes like
you know,
you're too literal.
sometimes you wake
"Don't
up
know
though,
your
and you know
dreams."
you forget. You're like, fuck. What was I just dreaming?
Oh dang.
Our third principle. We like to employ the Kings to use their
Oh yeah,
sense
cheers,
of humor.
cheers, guys.
Oh, there you go. Cheers.
Cheers.
We employ the Kings to use their sense of humor, and if they can't have us, if they don't have a sense of humor, it's to at least to be interesting as possible.
Yes.
That really helps.
Adorable does count.
Yes.
Yes.
No, but sense of humor really is key.
Yes,
I mean, you
make
have
her
to be
laugh.
able to laugh at life. You
At
cannot
yourself.
take life
Yeah.
seriously. Like, you know, that's like there's always something. There's always some aggravating factor.
You brought up a new point that we haven't. Like being able to laugh at life. That's something everyone can do.
Yeah, you have to
You
be able
know,
to do it.
forget telling the jokes, but being able to laugh at life.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
a big thing.
Definitely. You have to be able to roll with things. You have to find the silver lining, all of this like stuff that people think is not true. Like you just have to find the positive side of things so that you can move forward and be successful, really.
Great, I agree, 1,000%. And so those are the 3 principles, and now we can get into the plizugs.
I like those. Yeah, those were good principles.
Thank you.
Yeah, they were.
My name is Gerby. You can find me on Instagram, a funny name Gerby. I don't have shows, so don't come to those.
This is your boy Charismatic. Catch me at charismatic underscore me on IG and Twitter, and charismatic IPE on Facebook. You can catch me at the CCTV tomorrow night at 7 p.m. as well out in Cambridge, as well as the Middle East on the 3rd and the 4th. Having a little festival there. Y'all come check it out.
Nothing? Okay. Guys, Irish O'Neill. Follow me on all social media at It's Irish O'Neill. Obviously, check out the KINGZ podcast. We're real close to doing the live call stuff. I almost got that all set up.
Oh, cool.
And shout out to my other podcast, guys. STC podcast, Shit Talking Cunts. Go follow that live every Sunday. I can't remember. I think we got a.
You guys get ready. We're gonna be having a new segment coming through. Second date updates.
Yeah.
Should be fun, y'all. If y'all going out dating, call in,
That's
call
gonna be
in.
so much fun.
That would be
That's gonna
dope,
be so
right?
much fun.
Yes. So go out, date it up, and if you have any issues, call us up, and we'll let you know where you went wrong. We'll get in touch and make this happen.
Oh yeah, and then for the guys who are a little less advanced, they're scared of women. My challenge also is to talk to a girl for at least a minute, hold a conversation. If the conversation dips, it's your job to keep the conversation going. It doesn't matter. And then at 1 minute, just walk away. Just walk away. No expectation. You don't need to get her number. Try to get another date or whatever else you're thinking in your head. So that's one thing you could do too. Also for the guys who are less advanced and stuff like that.
And if you think anything interesting happened, you can call us up with that too.
Yeah,
that
tell
works.
us about that.
Tell us about that.
And then we'll give you some pointers on how you could do better next time.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Let's get this active. I mean, ladies, if you want to call in too, I just don't know. I don't have any expertise on trying to pick up a guy.
Well,
so we might, maybe Kerry can join us for those.
Yeah, I'd love to, because
like,
I was just wondering, so you guys get a lot of girls, I guess. That's how you're giving all this advice.
we try to get.
We have a lot of field research.
Oh, okay.
A lot of field research.
Yeah,
So
I love to do some coaching stuff. I'm into it.
There we go.
Because you got to be in it for yourself. You got
do.
to love yourself, and that there's a lot of that. So people date for the wrong reasons. They got to figure that out before you can find the one.
Interesting. Date for the wrong reasons.
like we have all
Yeah.
of us have different dynamics. I don't know exactly what Gerby's dynamic is, but polyamorous or I don't know. He likes his play toys, playthings.
I'm more
Do you
into
now?
open. More into open. I haven't been put in a situation where I really have been able to go could I love a second chick?
All right,
what
so
I mean?
just open. Yeah.
Yeah,
that
so
makes
open
sense.
for now. I guess I could explore the whole thing of poly. I kind of just hate that term personally, but
That's fair. That's fair.
But
And I'm for the most part along those lines as well.
basically my ideal situation is having one main person that's the go-to, and then just having a side person or maybe two.
Well, of course, that'd be ideal.
I
Yeah.
mean,
A lot of people can't manage that, though.
Yeah.
boom.
Yeah.
So I would prefer me a main person and maybe another person that we really really enjoy. You know what I'm saying? That we both date or something like that, or I do, and then we.
Yeah.
But I'd like it to be cohesive. I don't want it to
Yeah,
be.
you know what,
So are you looking to to be
I
able to
take it
get
back.
with this
That's-
other person, or are you just looking for somebody to hang out with all the time? That's can be
I would-
touchy and you can
I
be
would
flirty with.
prefer. I would prefer both because touchy and flirty. That's cool.
But you
But I
do
do that
want
with
to
my
eventually have
friends.
sex. You do want to eventually have
Yeah, you
sex
know
with
what?
them.
Yeah.
Or have sex with more than one person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want, I'm just trying to get the
No.
clarification.
That-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I
Yeah,
mean, that's,
you know
hey,
what? I want to amend. I'm
Whatever
with you
floats
on
your
that.
boat.
I want one chick and another chick, and they're friends, and we fuck.
It has to be a
And it's
cohesive
great.
situation because I don't really I still feels like stepping out a little bit. It's okay, I'm here and then I'm there. Even if they're both aware, it still feels a little.
I mean, it would be complicated for me. That's all. I mean, you do you. Everybody,
definitely,
everybody has their
definitely.
own thing that they can manage. I can think you love many people at the same time. I think when you throw sex in it for women,
It complicates
and
things.
for a lot of men. I mean, I've met a lot of men where it really complicates just the emotional side of it and the attachment piece of it, because you're I don't know. There's attachment. There's more attachment. I
For
guess
me-
intimacy, obviously.
For me, emotions can make sex better.
Yeah.
But it doesn't.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't diminish it at all. You know what I mean? So there are people that I can find a different peak with because there are emotional ties there. But I liken it to playing basketball, right?
Yeah.
I love playing basketball, and I have my favorite person to play basketball with. But am I going to enjoy it playing it with another person? Yeah, there might be a couple of mess ups
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something along
Yeah.
the way.
It's
But
I might have to shoot hoops with a couple of whites. You get by. You get by.
like someone sitting
I
under the
get
hoop
it.
and
No,
just
I get it. I get it.
three,
Yeah, I get it.
three,
I
like-
get it. Yeah. I get it. It sounds ideal. It sounds ideal, really.
it
Nah.
sounds
Yeah, because
ideal.
especially now, we put so much pressure on one person to be
everything.
and that's just not realistic.
And
for
that you
people.
match up on everything as
right,
well.
and you
That's-
don't. I mean, you don't.
You
And
don't.
and people have to I mean, that's why divorce is so rampant, right? Because people just don't recognize that you have to accept faults and everything with perfection. I mean, there are things
Yeah.
that you like, there are things that you don't like. It's working on those things. If somebody has to be willing to work on those things as well. You know, it's recognizing that there is an issue and that you want to fix it. Certainly,
we-
people that don't want to divorce is definitely an option that they should
see, like with me, that was definitely something I had to think of early because I'm an ass guy.
Mm-hmm.
Most girls that hear ass guy, they're like, okay, that way, and they start walking away. You know what I mean? So like, do you know how many relationships that would kind of kill? Like,
kind of what you want, right? You
Why?
better do the ass.
They a lot of women do. They're like,
does that mean that you're like a jerk because you're an ass guy? Is there some type of stereotype about
no?
ass
I just
guys?
keep going after that. I just keep going after their ass. I'm always trying to stick something in their ass. I'm always going after it. Like maybe it's uncomfortable.
Like he's literally obsessed. He's obsessed with
ass.
Oh
like,
yeah, like get away from me.
Exactly. Like they're like, yo, get the fuck out of here. Like stop it. You know, like. So like
you're like upfront about it. Like
I really have
subtle
to be
about it.
No, but I like being subtle about it. Like that just means I waste a year.
I mean, I know people that love like there are women that certainly love anal.
Yourself.
So like
no,
they love that
are.
stuff.
Nice.
But if I'm not upfront about it, like if me being upfront about it doesn't get them to walk away, then it's like, all right, there's something more here.
Yeah.
Like, but if
they're interested, maybe.
But like otherwise,
They're
I end up
open to it.
wasting a lot of time just for them to get to that point, and it's just like.
Okay, fair enough.
Because if he hides he's an ass guy for a year and you get all attached,
Because I'm a great guy,
and it's gonna come
no,
out.
I mean, I totally. I believe in
guy.
transparency. So whatever. I mean, that's great. If you're, I would want you to do that to me too.
right?
I'd be like,
It's
no.
fair.
Yeah, you're
most
right,
women
you're
say
right.
they want that level of honesty. I'm
Right,
like, look,
no, 'cause
I
I'd be
eat
like,
ass.
you
Like,
know,
what you want?
yeah.
What you want?
Yeah, and I'd be like,
Not my cup of tea.
yeah,
it's like,
not,
all right.
So yeah.
You know, so it's like, all right, so
But I may be able
either
to
we're
introduce you to
opening
somebody,
this
yeah.
up, either we're opening this relationship up, or we gotta split this up. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so for me, it became a very real option very early.
Well, it's glad that you realize that. Or it's good
Had
that
to.
you realize that.
Had to, or I had to become gay. It was one or the other.
Yeah, I don't want an open relationship or anything like that.
You just want a monogamous
Yeah,
relationship.
purely monogamous. As long as possible. I don't know. I don't really believe in soulmates or anything like that or fate.
Oh, I do.
His reasons aren't
I
exactly
do.
what you
I don't
think.
believe that. I
There are
believe
many
that-
soulmates. People can have many
That's
soulmates.
what I think. That's what I
many
believe.
I don't believe
soulmates.
that. I think you.
What do
make
you think
it-
your soul
two
is?
adults. I think there's two adults. You make the decision to make it work.
I believe that as well. But
Well,
there
yes,
are
of
people that
course
link
we
on a
have.
deeper
Of course
level.
we
Because
have.
every day you get up, you have to make a decision on how much effort you're gonna put into this relationship
That's
with this
true.
other person.
Yes.
And how much you're gonna be able to honor and cherish this person. That's not necessarily.
But unfortunately,
automatic
it's not
because
always
you're
reciprocated.
soulmates.
Unfortunately, it's not always
Right. That's what I'm saying.
reciprocated, and that's like
That's what I'm saying. It's between two adults.
Right, right.
Your partner that you're with also has to have
Yeah.
that mentality or that mindset to be.
So what's
that way?
What's the longest relationship you've been in?
A year.
A year.
Yeah.
And, okay, so
I'm not laughing at that. I was just like, damn, I'm old.
So that's not crazy long, but it's enough time. In that time,
Right.
you never had any urge or sense
No,
of
'cause,
like wanting to
but-
fuck another person.
But when I was younger, I would go from relationship. I wouldn't have. That's like one girl though. Most of the time, whenever I was not out of relationships, I'd just be messing around and stuff like that. It's like now that I'm in my late 20s, it's now that I want to settle down now.
Yeah.
Versus when I was younger, I was just running around, being a slut and everything like that. So there was not a lot of opportunities to really get into a long-term relationship.
What is settling down? Like you want to be able to come home and like eat dinner and watch TV.
No,
and
I don't
just
care
relax.
about any of that. It's not about settling down. It's just I want a friend, really. Mostly.
Okay, yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
companionship
Yeah.
is like that's why we're all in it. I mean, I'm married, so
you can't have,
I
you
get,
can't
I
have
get
a
it.
friend
I
and
get
also
it.
fuck other people.
No.
Why?
Because no, it just doesn't make sense to me.
But why? Like, or what's your rationale?
I'm
behind
fine. I'm fine with just messing with one person. That's
It? Do
enough
you
for
not like the idea of someone else messing with a person that you're involved with? Is that it?
me. What do you mean, other person?
That would be uncomfortable. I can still see that. That's still
If I'm not-
uncomfortable.
if I'm not-
Like, it's
Wait,
not exactly
Are
still.
you saying I get with somebody that wants to
No,
step out and then?
I'm saying
of course
like
if
I'm saying
not
like
gonna
you
step
have
out-
someone that you're tight with, right? You guys been going for like a couple years, whatever.
Right.
But then like you guys have the option to fuck other people. That's not a
option.
thing.
Why would it be an option?
Maybe you both just kind of want to get some strange.
Oh, then it's over. Then it's over.
Yeah,
She could go fuck other people.
He doesn't like that.
Okay.
He doesn't like that.
All right. I was just asking why.
Yeah, I just don't. I'm cool with that. That's not something I necessarily need. I don't. It's interesting because when I was sleeping around, whatever, being a slut, whatever. I don't know. It didn't fulfill me the way I thought
you
it
don't
would.
need necessarily are a slut because
I
you're
was
sleeping
Yeah,
around.
I was. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I was yeah, I'll call
You're
it that.
promiscuous.
I was promiscuous.
Yeah.
I wasn't fulfilled by any of that stuff.
I guess just for me, the idea of like
Because
just banging one person forever that sounds awful.
To you,
Why
yeah.
though?
That's not that. That's not
Why?
that
Sounds awful to
daunting
you.
for
Yeah.
me.
That
you.
will get boring.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
I need.
I mean, I don't think
Strange.
it'll necessarily get
Well,
boring. You got to find ways
when I
to
was,
keep it interesting. I mean, you got to think about sex in a different way, I guess. Like, I think, like for women,
Variety.
you're thinking about variety, but like your level, just like as you are with a person for longer. Like Mason's met his like fart quota of a lifetime for me personally. Like in the past like 6 years that we've been together, like I am done with it. If I never hear a fart again, I'll be golden.
Right.
But like, so I've lived in a camper with this man, like close quarters. Like you just like the experiences that you have together, it only gets weirder.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
like
it does.
you find like ways to become closer in different ways, and your
see,
attraction to each other changes, which I guess is what keeps it interesting for me, because you have sex in Australia, you have sex in Tahoe, you have sex in California, and it's like you're like experiencing a different person like every time because their mood is different, and they're like.
And
I mean,
They're
maybe
in a
I'm just
different
talking from like a
space.
man's perspective, but
Yeah,
it's the same.
I'm talking from a female.
It's
That's
the
all
same
I'm
pussy
saying.
every time.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter if we're on a boat or
No,
fucking.
like-
yeah.
I'm just saying for
Around,
women. That's
like-
why it's easier,
Like,
I
'cause
think, for us.
men on a nature level inherently want frivolous pussy. I mean, look at animals even like this.
Yeah.
But not all men.
Yeah, I mean, you're gross.
Well,
a lot
I
of
guess,
you.
but
A lot of you
You
are
see,
gross.
I'm kind of swinging right between that because I mean, if a guy doesn't like frivolous pussy, he wouldn't jerk off, would he? You know what I mean? So
Woody?
What does jerking off has to do
you're
with
solving. That means we have a problem with to solve, and we're solving it. It's still this is definitely frivolous pussy. Like,
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
nothing more frivolous
but-
pussy
Oh,
than
that's
this.
just
No,
being
but
horny.
jerking off is
You're
actually
horny
good for
all
your
the
prostate.
time.
Yeah.
That's what the
It's actually
problem
good for your
is.
prostate
So
to
the-
jerk off.
So that means having sex is
why
good
don't
for your
you just-
prostate.
Why don't you just fuck the person you're with then and not jerk off?
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
the
the same.
person
Not a
doesn't
machine
always
either.
want to have sex
What?
either.
Bang! And that's my thing. Like I don't like
She's not a machine.
exactly, and
Right.
that's
Right,
Right.
Gerby.
and that's my
You're
thing.
right, Gerby.
That's my
Yeah,
thing.
that's
Like
not
the
the way
same
it
way. Like
works.
I respect y'all in that way as well. But like
think you should get the
I
pussy whenever you
equally
want it?
want that same respect.
In a
If I
perfect
want to
world,
use my
yes.
dick,
Okay.
if I want to use my dick,
But obviously
you don't
that
get to
does-
determine for
obviously
both
it
of us that I don't get to
doesn't
use
matter.
it.
That's why.
You know
Yeah,
what?
well,
I
that's why you
fucking
can take
hate
care
that
of
shit.
yourself if you wanted.
But if I don't want to take care of myself and I want to fuck somebody, I want to fuck somebody.
Oh, so that's why you're saying that's why other people would
Yeah,
be a good
like
option.
you guys get like women get to
Yeah,
shut
yeah.
down a man's dick
Yeah,
anytime
I
they
guess.
fucking want. I fucking hate that
As
shit.
they should.
Yeah.
As they should.
I resent that.
Right,
No,
Gerby.
like
Thank you,
yeah.
Gerby.
No,
Thank
you should be able to.
You control them when I'm
You should be
horny.
able
Sex
to
is what they
for your
control. Let them
vagina.
control sex.
You should
Yeah.
be able to for your vagina. For your vagina. We at no point get to control your vagina. So like,
Right.
why
Why
should we be
control
able to
my
control
dick?
our dick?
It's not controlling your dick.
It is.
I feel like it is.
Well, this is an individual person.
You can release. You can
don't own them.
get your own.
And
release.
they don't. Then
And
they
they
don't
don't
own
own
me.
me.
So,
Right.
so then
that's
why
you're
can't I go get
that-
some
no,
other
that's-
pussy?
I'm
So-
not telling
You
you. not to,
can.
though,
You
but
can. You
who's
just have
telling
to
you
be
not to?
upfront about it. Like
just
we
said I
said,
wouldn't.
you just have to be upfront about it and honest with your partner and
difference.
say that this is what's going on. Like I'm not going to be able to just like not have sex when I feel like it. So I'm going to have all these side pieces. And I'm going to be able to fuck whenever I feel like it because you're not going to. You're going to have a headache from time to
I don't think you
time.
should ever hide it. Like,
Or
You know,
my
that's
jaw
like-
hurts.
that's-
Like I wanted way more
That's-
head than that. Like,
That's crazy, guys. Just so you know, like that amount. I mean, coming from like just a female perspective, that is like. I mean, I know that you think about sex like every 5 seconds, but
Probably
like,
more than that.
yeah,
Yeah.
every 3, every 0.3. I don't
Constant,
even know what it is. It's
There you go.
it's like
Closer,
an insane
closer,
amount.
closer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's
nonstop.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah.
I mean-
it's
so. I mean, if
it's
you're if
evil.
that's really what your like need is all the time,
Yeah.
then that's a lot easier to understand. Doesn't make it any
easier to
to accept.
Yes. No.
Right.
So-
completely acceptable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Like that stops me from being resentful though. Completely stops me from being.
but you know what? That helps me like Mason a lot more today because that means he just was like, "I'm good."
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I
Yeah,
feel
yeah,
like
like, he
women should
didn't feel the
appreciate
need to
the
do
men
that.
that just like the men that just accept that, appreciate the fuck out of them.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
because
I
like
guess.
the worst thing a woman ever said to me is that at least you get some pussy. Like, bitch, are you serious?
You should never be holding that hostage.
Like-
that should never be
Yeah,
like
that's a no-no.
that should
That's
never be
a-
like a bartering item in your relationship. Sex should never be like that. You should never be like telling somebody that you're going to withhold sex from. That's a very
that's bad.
unhealthy.
Very
Yeah,
unhealthy
that's a very unhealthy
relationship.
way to like
Yeah.
you're gonna only create
cope
resentment.
with whatever you're going. Like if you're saying like I'm just really not attracted to you right now because of your behavior, so that's why we're not going to have sex. Then that's one thing. But if you're saying like, you know, we're not having sex because like you didn't do the dishes, like that's not that's not something to
And
be using against somebody.
True. And I think I have, because I followed my own advice when I was growing up. I said I was never going to get into like a super serious relationship. When I was, like even that 1 year relationship shouldn't have never happened in the first place. You know what I'm saying? I thought I wanted to, I kind of had my life planned out to a certain degree. And then when I became super religious, I met a lot of couples who were together 50 years, 40 years, 60 years. And I thought that was beautiful, that they could stand each other for that long. And
that you know of.
Okay. I mean, there's no other way for me
I mean,
to know that.
most of the time it's not standing each other and figuring out a way to still be together. So
Right.
he's still right.
Right. So I thought I was like, oh, you know what? I never looked at it this way. Oh, I would like this. This is nice.
Yeah.
You know, and so I think that's.
Are your parents still together?
No, my
If you
parents.
don't mind me asking,
My
I'm
dad
sorry.
is also a slut. Currently
Okay.
a whore. No. So it's not like that. But
Okay,
it's just
so yeah, like you just have a different perspective about things.
Yeah,
My
yeah,
parents
yeah.
have been married for like 36 years.
Right.
So like, and I've seen them go through periods of like really not liking each other,
Yeah.
but sticking it out, you
Sticking
know,
it out,
like,
right.
yeah, like I just got a phone call about a Christmas gift recently that I, like my mind was blown. Like they put you kind of, I only have one brother. So you're kind of like, once you get an adult, it's a weird zone when you're, like I see my parents, Mason and I hang out with my parents quite a bit, and it's like they're living in like a parallel universe, like just like 36 years
Yep.
older than us. So it's kind of crazy.
yeah, it's dope. I
But
think
they
it's
love
beautiful.
each other. They
Yeah,
really love
yeah,
each
it's
other,
beautiful. I think it's
and
beautiful.
wouldn't know what to do without each other.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And like
That's
so.
the part that gets scary.
That's the
Right.
part.
Because you know one of you guys got to go first. And
Oh
like,
yeah,
that's the
I mean
part
that's scary
that
now.
becomes
Honestly, that's
scary
really
as hell.
really scary now to think about. It's really
Yo.
scary now to think about.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Like I do everything in my power.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm dropping first. I'm
that's where-
dropping first.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
My outlook
But you
comes
could do that and also fuck other people.
No.
he personally cannot. I could.
I didn't mean you necessarily. I meant like the colloquial you.
Yeah, I guess so. But that's not. See, I'm not. I don't know. Sex is not a pleasure thing for me. I think I explained this to you before. So it's not something I need to go out and get constantly either.
It's a pleasure thing for me. I
Is that right?
Yeah.
And that's a difference.
Yeah.
Same here. Like if I could do anything or fuck, I'd probably fuck.
don't.
Like anything or fuck, I'd probably fuck. Like I had a blood clot and I still fucked. Like I couldn't
my
breathe and I
God.
passed out having sex. Like I will still fuck.
And then
I will still
Boys
fuck.
are
my
gross. I'm
reaction's
just
the,
gonna say it again. Boys are gross. I don't know.
My reaction is the
I
little
don't know what else
Mexican girl
to
meme that's
say.
just like, why not both?
Right.
I mean, I have a problem.
Yeah, but
I'll
do
admit
you
I got a
ever like
problem.
catch yourself thinking like, why do I want to have this much sex?
No, it's
No.
nature. It's a nature
No,
based.
because half of it is
Yeah,
this.
but like you're
'Cause
saying
I'm-
that you don't want.
'cause I'm a-
That's not
Yeah.
your main
Yeah,
driver.
but I made a
so
decision.
why
I
is
made
Because I'm a
that?
virile
Right, so
I'm still
I
attracted
mean,
to
you're
women.
very
I will still
aware.
like to. When I see a woman, that goes through my mind the first 2 seconds I see her.
See,
I want to fuck her.
This is
So-
the difference. This
so
is the difference.
even
I
if-
came into
Oh,
Even if-
okay,
wait, wait,
Kerry,
wait.
so you're like undercover over
Wait,
here.
so, like,
That's
yeah,
really
I
your
came into
first thought
adulthood.
stuff.
Wait, you're not supposed to be attracted
wait,
to
wait,
women?
wait.
No, but that's your first.
So
I mean,
just-
I'm thinking like. So I just
just
was
what happens
thinking
when I
that.
look at an attractive
Okay.
girl.
Just so
okay.
we're clear. So even if you're in this long,
I don't make that happen. That just naturally.
even if you're in this long-term
Interesting.
monogamous relationship, you still see and secretly want to fuck other chicks. You
Want?
just don't.
No,
You don't
He
want.
just enjoys this visual.
Yeah.
He's cool.
I don't buy it.
that's fine.
I don't
could
buy
care
it.
less.
I think he's a fucking liar.
I think
fine.
it's a lot closer to damn. She'd be good to fuck, and he keeps moving. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
right.
I think
It's
it's a
more
lot
like that.
closer to that.
Oh, that's nice.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh wow, that'd
Because
be nice.
You're
But
more
like,
I'm not saying
appreciating it. You're
I'm not saying he
appreciating it.
acts on it. I'm saying he looks
Now
and he's
that-
like,
Now that I look, because I think about.
I don't
people
think it's
differently.
I don't think it's the want anymore. Like
not.
he seems too inwardly like concise. You know what I mean? I don't, like put together. Like it seems like it'd be like
When I'm
I
not
don't
in a
want to fuck
relationship,
that.
it's
but,
whatever,
Like,
you
yeah.
know,
Oh
it's
yeah, I mean,
whatever.
if you know what you
I
want,
go whatever
that's
I
helpful.
want. But in a relationship, I do consider.
you're
other people's feelings.
sounding to me a bit like Max. I just don't buy it.
Okay, fine. I'm Max then.
Okay.
I
Is that
disagree.
supposed to be an insult, I guess. But
No, I'm not insulting you. I'm just
it's
saying.
fine. I don't get to know girls so I could date them. I try to fuck you immediately.
Right.
And I try to
But
get to
if
know
we'll
them
get
all.
married, then I'm gonna honor our marriage.
How are you-
If our relationship is gonna be monogamous, then I'm gonna honor
So those
the monogamous.
thoughts just disappear
They
for
don't
you.
disappear. I just don't act upon them.
That's what I'm saying though. So you
Right.
still-
It's willpower. Yeah.
So then why'd you disagree with me? That's literally what I said. You still have
You guys
those
just come full
thoughts.
circle.
Is that not what I said?
You guys
I
just
said,
come
I
full
said that.
circle.
No, you didn't. You
You
disagreed.
said I said I don't act upon
Charismatic.
them.
Run it back for me.
Did I not say I don't act upon it?
I'm kind of confused, to be honest.
I just said I don't act upon
I
it.
just say we let birds lie. We let
When we watch your
leaves
video,
lie.
you'll see.
We let squirrels lie. I don't
Sleeping
know.
dogs
You-
lie.
what you
Yeah.
just
Sleeping
agreed
dogs
with
get
is
under
what
the
I
ground
said
and lie in
Sleeping dogs
dirt.
lie.
I don't know.
No,
You said
yeah,
you
don't
said
poke the
I shouldn't
bear.
have
Yeah,
those feelings
don't
at
poke
all.
the bear. Give it a hug.
That's like I shouldn't want to have sex with other
I
women.
love that.
No,
That's
no, I wasn't saying.
shirt.
I said that even if you're
On
in
the
this
front, don't
long-term
poke the bear on the
monogamous
back.
thing with
Give it a
you,
hug.
you still have those feelings.
Yes.
You just don't act on them.
love
Yeah, that's
that.
literally what I said.
I will come
don't
up
think
with
so.
the best
swear.
t-shirts.
Or at least the way I heard it
best.
when you first said it, it sounded like you saying I shouldn't feel that way at all.
No, because you're
Okay.
always going to feel that
Right,
way.
right,
That was
right.
my whole point.
Okay, that's why I was confused.
And like
He literally thought I was making the opposite point. No.
no.
Yeah.
And like what I was thinking about was this. So he says that's the reason he doesn't. So, but like in his youth, you were able to get like any girl you were after at that time or whatever.
Mostly yes.
It took me until like 19 to figure
I was
out
a
women.
very cocky kid.
I started having sex at 19. That's 19 years of trying to get it and not being able to. That's
cocky kid.
that puts a little scar in your brain, just a little
I
bit.
mean, I guess.
I was an
So
asshole
like
too.
now, if I
Big time
actually am able to get it, I would like the opportunity to.
Also, not going to
No,
lie.
I mean, you do you. Like I said,
It's
I
pretty
think it's
phenomenal if you're dating
I have pigeonholed
someone
myself,
and
yes,
then
but
you go out and
cool
get
with
some
that.
side and then come back and then y'all hook up. Like it just is better. Like if you come back from hooking up with someone on the side just more motivated about your main relationship.
That is
well,
true.
you do miss.
That is
You know,
true.
you recognize what you have. I
Yeah.
think a lot of the time. So
Home
that's
is
a, you
sweet
know,
as hell after that.
Yeah, that's a good
That's
point.
interesting.
That's why
That
sometimes
is-
cheating can be the best thing for a
Like,
relationship.
Let's
I
like
disagree.
just.
Like I've been with a girl in the
Irish.
past
There's
that
nothing
literally
they
like
could say
after coming
that'll
back
piss
from
you
that,
off.
Yeah, but if
just-
she
it
didn't
was
agree
the
to
best
for
sex
that
afterward
arrangement,
between
I didn't
the
know.
two of us.
Now
It
we're
was
talking
amazing.
morals.
No,
I
I
didn't
mean,
say
I
anything.
get
Oh,
it.
no, I'm
Because
talking
there's
about
like
this arrangement. You made a
passion
contract,
and,
a
you
social
know,
contract with this
regret.
person. You're
There's
not
a
gonna cheat
lot.
on
You
them.
know, you're being
There's a lot.
overly.
That's not
There's
right.
so many
dependent.
emotions.
Yeah, I mean, there's like a lot going on there. So that's.
But it is what it is.
But if you're going out because you already established that you're gonna go out there and get some strange, she can't get upset or be seen. It's not cheating.
Oh
at
yeah.
that point.
I'm not advocating that you go cheat, but I am saying that like in theory the idea of cheating, like you could see why it does good things for a relationship.
But I think
unless
it's
it gets
different for
found
men
out.
and women too. The cheating differs.
The motivation behind it's different. Yeah.
Right. With the ladies.
Sometimes it's the same. I'm
Sometimes
sure.
it's the same.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's fair.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. That was a nice discussion. I like that. That was good. Apologize for my confusion. What you were stating there.
Apology
'Cause what
accepted,
it sounded
sir.
like, it was like, oh, I can't think about or be attracted to other women anymore.
Nope.
Very opposite point. Yeah, you're right.
All right, let's go into
For sure. Thank
our
you.
clips. King's Rounds Table. Figure out a dance yet. I need a new dance.
You want me to share some?
Thank you for bringing it. Is that the first clip we're gonna go into?
Yep.
I love what she's doing
Oh
for big
God, I'm
girls,
nervous
but I
about
hate
the
what she's
clips,
doing
guys.
with big
I'm not
girls.
gonna lie. I'm nervous about the clips.
You'll be okay. It's all right. Don't
All
worry. You
right.
won't go too hard.
Clips are. We don't go too hard on the clips.
Right.
Oh,
It's only,
Yeah, I don't know. Mason told me not to watch.
oh, the one time we brought him, we had some violent stuff. We didn't like it. Right after this is done. This.
what? Yeah.
Good for her.
You know, I love and hate what she's doing. You know what I'm saying?
Good for her. Get
This
it.
is just him getting about to get kicked out and everything like that. So Lizzo, this happened a couple weeks ago, and I wanted to talk about it now. They got banned from the Staples Center for this too. The money
Completely.
throwing and her booty out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, come on now.
I can see
Well,
why.
she
Were there
parlayed
children
that.
there?
Actually, that's what the reason I wanted to wait on this because she parlayed that
Always.
into a video release because everybody was talking about her about doing that and whether if it was wrong or right. It didn't matter. She put out a video right after it, and then the video got a lot of hits. So she actually parlayed that into a business move. which
All press is good
I was
press.
very happy for her that she was able to do that. And it almost seemed like she may have done it on purpose. I'm not really sure yet to decide that, but.
She said she wanted a man. She was looking to get a rich man. Like you see that you got a whole court full of rich guys. You know, twerk son. That was
Yeah,
it.
but you see what basketball players normally date, right?
Doesn't mean that one of them don't like big girls.
No, but
Take your chances.
yes, but how often? But name the last basketball player you've seen with a woman.
That
her
is
size.
completely fair. Name the last time you've seen that many black guys and one of them didn't have a big girl.
I'm talking about basketball players.
I'm talking about black guys.
I'm talking about the people that are actually rich on the court. Yeah,
I'm talking about the people that are actually rich on the court as well.
Yeah, but you haven't seen a basketball player with a girl her size.
If you got that kind of money,
Ever.
typically you don't need to.
Unless
with a
she's
chick
your
like
thing.
that.
There are guys out there that's their
No,
thing.
you're saying
sure.
hypothetically this is true.
I'm saying there has to be.
What is the question? You don't think anybody wants to hook up with her?
No. It has nothing to do with the question.
He's
No.
saying that stereotypically basketball players go for much skinnier women.
Oh,
Yes.
And that
And her-
she'd be way out of like a basketball
I'm-
player.
I mean, I
saying
think
that
that
based on
people.
what he's
I
saying,
think that
she's
they
trying to
probably go
attract.
for people that they think other people will find attractive because they are looking for that type of lifestyle.
I agree with that too.
And that's why a lot of people
Presentable.
cheat. And that's why there's a lot of people that have like these babies out of these random children that pop up and stuff, because this is not exactly what they were going for. That's
Right.
just what they're with because of societal expectations and stuff.
Societal
Like
expectations.
Like I think I think a lot of men love thick women.
Yeah.
Like they love thick women. I wish
Like
I was a
Lizzo
little thicker.
thick?
I'd love some boobs in
Yeah.
a butt, but
my cousin
lot,
that
though.
lives
You
in the
just said-
next door from me, like literally, he will tear that up.
Yeah, but out of my circle of, I could think. Well, no, that's.
I know
too
quite a
much.
few.
That's anecdotal.
I know. You see, I have too many friends that
Outside.
if you just have a vagina, they tear it up. So like, she
think
is
they did
so
a
within the
science-
like.
I think they did a study about this. About
Oh, you
what
didn't know
men
this?
are
This is
attracted
I
so-
to
mean, I no, I
worldwide.
know.
Some men,
Then
their type is
overall-
vagina.
I know.
Like,
There are some straight men that hate women as well. Do you know that?
like
Oh,
Kim
I'm well
Kardashian,
aware.
Yeah.
basically. That's what the ideal woman looked like, because they did like a study of men from different.
That's
parts
what
of
you think?
The world. No, they did a study.
Oh,
That the ideal woman
that's
would be
it.
but
what?
they like curvier women.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, not her size is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Stereotypically, on the
just
continent,
on average.
on the continent that I
I mean,
come
she might
from,
look great naked. She might look great naked.
I'm not sure about that.
Why
is that a
not?
bet you'd
I'm
like
not
to
sure.
make?
I've seen her.
I want to bet you. I want to bet you on that one. Is
Yeah,
that-
I've seen her in other outfits.
And who has to look at her? You or me? Like, who has to decide this?
I'm not saying fat people
Unfortunately, I'm
can't
not
be
into
loved.
women.
That's what I'm saying.
So
But I can
you'll be
appreciate
objective.
beauty. I appreciate
you'll be
She's a
beauty.
very
objective.
beautiful girl.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
she's
I do
very
like women, so
beautiful.
you'll be more objective than I. Be like,
I
that's an objectively nice.
But I
body.
can find beauty. I find beauty in everybody. I mean, everybody has beautiful qualities about themselves.
See, then again, you're still better than me. So you should be the person judging, because I don't think that at all. Not at all.
I do.
think-
I can find beautiful qualities
I
in
think-
almost anybody.
I think if she were to lose like a nice 80 pounds, she'll be.
But why? Why?
I
I mean,
thought-
besides the health risks.
Yeah,
See, I'm
just
about
like
the
she's
health
unhealthy.
risks.
She's unhealthy. Is what I'm saying too. That would
Like,
help her.
no, her confidence makes her sexy as hell. I
might be healthy. She might be healthy,
I
too,
couldn't
who
do a
knows?
girl of her size, but like, she is sexy as
An
hell. to
ocean
me.
of confidence. Ain't gonna
She
make
is
me
sexy
fuck
as-
that
No,
dog.
no, no
Hell no.
confidence.
No, she's just like
Girl her size, no.
No, like I'd be hard to start by the time we actually got into it, because I'm gonna forget that your confidence is what made you attractive
I
during
don't
the
got
sex.
enough-
Once you start getting clothes
I don't
off
got enough
and like
dick for that chick.
rubbing going and
too real.
oxytocin is like
I don't got enough dick for
everything's
Lizzo.
flowing. I mean, I heard that men don't even really like know what's going on except for that you're
Some
about
men.
to come.
Some men.
The majority, I would think.
You're not wrong. You're not
Right.
wrong.
In what regard? In terms of what sex?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
just like once
That's
where
true.
like
That's
once everything's flowing, clothes are off, people are
Right.
touching, and there's
Yeah.
rubbing. Like your brain and your chemicals are flowing so good that
Yeah, our
you're like in a natural high
Right,
state
right,
that
right.
like you don't see a wrinkle or a roll or whatever. You're just
Oh, I
like,
see that.
you
I
know,
see that.
good
I
to
see that
go.
before
I'm
we-
hyper-focused.
I see that before we get there. Yeah.
Really?
hyper-focused.
Guys, don't ruin this for me.
Unless-
This is like
No, but that's why
You're letting us into what women call themselves. I didn't know that. Like,
we've heard. This is what we've heard. This is science.
Unless it's attrition. Unless it's attrition.
unless attrition has caused you to not
Yeah.
care.
but no, a lot of guys do feel that way. But it's not. It's not. It's
I'll
not.
give
everything
you a
about your
perfect
body.
example.
everything.
We know what it looks
Really?
like.
Yeah.
So like, if we're not,
Angle,
if
yeah.
like, if like literally, if we choose to be with you every day, we're like, we do not
You're
find you
attractive,
disgusting
right,
at
all,
all
yeah.
on any level.
It's all
like,
delicious.
I like. I said I'm an ass guy. I've gotten shit on me before, and I was like, all right, cool. And I'm like, and I like, well, just let's go clean up. Like, I'm not
I mean, yeah,
disgusted.
I mean,
like, I'm not like,
yeah, yeah.
I
I
find
would-
you like, I'm so attracted to you that
happens.
I don't find anything about you. Oh wait, is that? Oh, are you on your period? Let's have
God,
sex.
that
You know what I'm
would be
saying? Like
wonderful
something
They're
like
gonna catch
that.
that on
Found that
screen.
much,
They're gonna
like-
catch that. That's good.
You're with one. That guy will like literally
You think
like.
so? No, I know you do.
Whoa, wait, what
serious?
was the question? What was the question?
Like, I'm sorry. If she wants to serve him a shit sandwich, that guy would eat it and be fucking happy about it.
Certain
Like,
guys would.
that guy
I mean,
literally like
certain guys would. Yes. No.
that. The way that guy
never do
feels
that.
for you, like,
I
whoo.
don't know that he would eat literally poop, but
Like the same way that I walked up to you and told you how
I
beautiful
agree,
you
I
were.
agree.
The
You were
way I
a
walked
very
up to you and told you how
attractive
attractive you
woman.
are.
That's the reason why.
That's the same level of intimidation I feel for the feelings he has. Like
Right.
that's why I don't like. It feels sticky once, like, because he is so into you
Right.
that like it's fanatical. And it's absolutely like I think that's the way every guy should feel about it. His woman, you know what I'm saying?
I mean,
if
that's
you've been with a
nice.
woman that long, like you at some point like
Oh, I'm getting
Whoa,
nasty.
whoa, whoa,
Like-
whoa,
like-
whoa, whoa,
like-
whoa.
Yeah.
Build a woman.
build a woman.
Yeah, what does that mean? I just want to know.
I
what
said
that
build a
means.
woman?
Build a woman.
Wait, who said build a woman?
I
said
thought
that?
that's what you said. Yeah. What did
No,
you just
when,
say?
Yeah.
when you've been that long with a woman.
because you have to train them.
Yeah. I was just wondering what that
Did I
meant.
say build a
Oh,
woman?
You
Build a
said
woman?
build a woman. I'm saying train them.
Did he say build
I
a
say
woman?
build a
Did I
woman?
hear that wrong?
No, he said. I think he said build a woman.
Yeah,
Okay,
you
is
did.
it-
You said when you
okay.
build
What was the
a
context
woman.
of it?
Is that?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking. It was just kind
No,
of like you
I
just
thought I
said
said
it
when,
like,
when you're with a woman.
oh, okay. Maybe you did. Sorry.
I'm so
But like, do you
confused.
think you need to build a woman?
I heard.
I feel
Phil.
that people in a relationship build each other up.
Okay,
Right.
that's
But
fine. I was
build
just
a
asking
build a
for
woman? No, that's never
clarification.
something I would
Build
say.
it.
You're
That's not
building.
fair.
You're,
Where are you gonna
you're
lead me to?
helping lay foundation
Oh,
for
you about
each
to go
other.
somewhere?
Yeah, that's
what
what I would.
Yeah.
If I
I
said
think
that,
women
I'm
do
sorry.
have to
That's
be
not
trained,
something.
though. Yeah.
Everybody like.
Men need to be trained too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, like you have to. It's your relationship. I mean, you have to like. We
Yeah,
live
there needs to be
together,
compromise.
so there's
Yes,
like,
exactly.
and you know, Mason is an only child, so I go through a lot of things that I went through with my brother when I was like
Yup.
9
Yeah.
with Mason because he was
I'm
an
the
only
same way.
child. So like
I'm the same
living
way.
together has been, you know,
I'm the same
an adjustment for him, rightfully so. It's just like he just didn't have somebody that was that close to
I
him.
love my own space.
And I'm the middle child. I know how everyone's doing.
What do you
Oh,
What
yeah.
do you consider as training the man?
Training a man.
Teaching him where to put his clothes.
Yeah, I didn't do a very good job. So
Teaching him how to exfoliate. Teaching him the word exfoliate.
Would they not say? Would you say a man?
What exfoliator do you use? What lotion do you use?
I mean, you can only
I
train
don't
somebody
do that
that
shit.
you
Okay,
can only
well,
train
it's
somebody
just
that
women could
wants to
upgrade
be
you.
trained too.
You don't seem to agree
you,
with that.
that's already. I already
Women
named
make your
two
life
things
easier,
that
for
you
sure.
could already. I already know you need. I said
they're trained
exfoliation
well.
and lotion. Already you need training. Already you need training, bro.
I mean, yeah, but some people just don't follow directions
you-
either. You know,
Right.
you can
We
provide the
exist
knowledge.
just fine without that. So why do you really need that training?
Do you know
don't
men?
need it. You
Men
don't
live
need it. It
10
just
years
enhances
longer
life.
just by having a woman like full time in their life.
Just enhance
10
it.
years
Just
longer. It
enhances.
enhances you.
Yeah, it
Sure.
enhances
Yeah.
your life.
It builds you up.
You know,
We're
like
meant to-
all
we're
of a
meant to-
sudden, you have really cool body wash in the shower that you're
yeah.
just like,
And
let me
you-
check
And you
this
smell
out.
better.
all day. You smell good all day, not just for like the first 2 hours of being awake.
Just like our ancestors, cooperation is necessary.
You know,
No,
we want-
no
we
more
want-
streaks in your underwear.
We have little
I got streaks in my
blemish
underwear.
sticks. So when you have a
Right.
zit, you know, you can put that on there and it
Women
takes
pay
care of
attention
it
to
in
stuff
like
like
half
that.
the
Particulars, they
time
pay
and things
attention
like
to
I just
that.
wash my face.
It's really good.
You know, we have a really nice warm pair of
Your
socks
face could be nicer.
for a cold
I
day.
guess.
For the woman's
A lot of
touch.
people would
I'm
not.
sorry. I had to be a gentleman. I was gonna say you guys have a whole bunch of warm stuff. I was like, gentlemen. So we got warm socks. Oh yes, you do.
It's also soft.
I apologize. Mason, I apologize.
I just went like this.
I guess I
Plush.
feel like a
Very
guy's pretty put together going into like trying to get a chick. Like a guy at that point really all he needs is pussy. Like a chick.
We
a
have to.
chick going
They don't
into
want
it is
no
looking
scrub.
for.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
No,
But,
yeah.
but, a,
I mean,
but
when you think
a chick
about
going
it.
into it is looking for love.
Not necessarily though. Sometimes you're just looking for some attention.
that she's right with that.
No,
too.
wait,
that
he's not
happens
talking
all the
Sometimes
time.
about
you're just looking-
random guys. He's
you're
talking about the
looking
guy
for
you like.
affection. I mean, I think a lot of people stay with people for a long time because they don't
Purely
know.
because of attention?
Yeah, they don't
Yeah,
know. They
you're
don't know
right. I
how to
think she's
get
right.
that from any. I mean, you're getting
Interesting.
fulfillment. You know, you're getting some type
And
of
you think
fulfillment.
the guy's getting fulfillment just by giving you attention?
No, I don't think that's their fulfillment whatsoever. Their fulfillment is having sex.
Right.
So, like, you know, it's different. It's different forms of.
I would
That's
say it's
why
a little
when
bit
girls
bigger
get
than
of
mad
that.
at
people's
sex,
needs.
I think it's a little bit bigger than that, but that's for
Once
the most part correct. It's
I mean, if you're
pretty much
not really feeling it, like you said, I mean, you guys like, I'm excited for the second date conversations because a lot of people,
Excited for the second
you know, a lot of people have sex on the first date, but like, you know, good sex really consists of most of the time, I would say chemistry. Like you
Yeah,
need some
definitely,
chemistry with the
definitely.
I agree
person.
with that.
But so a lot of people are just like having
with that.
sex on the first date because like, you know, they're drunk and horny and they haven't had sex with anybody in a
That's
while.
fair. Yeah.
So they're having sex and like their sex sucks. So I'm sure then you'll try anything twice. Mason and I, like, we say that.
For the most, sometimes, yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know, then you try again the next
good
time.
rule.
So your second calls are
A
going to be
girl has
really
to
good.
like you to fuck you. A guy has to like you to fuck you again.
I don't think anybody has to like you to fuck you.
I don't think
for the
that's
most part,
true
for the
either.
most part,
I think
would
guys
agree.
will fuck almost anything more than twice if it's especially like
If it's attrition, sure.
if anybody's like, I mean, this conversation has proved to me if somebody's just open to having sex, you guys are in. Like, it's not going to take much more than that. And you have to be attractive.
I mean,
you have to be
if
attractive.
If they're not a pig,
you have to be attractive. You have to
Rats,
be, and you have to be like open to it.
I'm not open to it. That's the drama.
You have to no. You like so. I have to agree with that. Well, I half agree with. I agree with you, but I kind of feel where you're coming from.
You know what I'm saying?
Like hood
you
rat,
grew up
huge
around
turn
some-
off.
Yeah, huge
But
ref.
bro,
Yeah,
if
huge.
they never opened their mouth, would you have done it? Yes. So I'm still on her side.
No,
you know what I mean?
wanting to
I don't
have
even
sex
know
with them
what
is
hood
one
rat
thing,
means.
but
Yeah.
actually having sex with them, I do consider.
ghetto
the
girls.
Ghetto girls, yeah.
It's like just like
Like
Drama
chicken heads,
filled, very wants to fight you on everything. They don't believe in you being, I guess, the head of the relationship in any way, shape, or form. They feel like they have to dominate you. It's very
a woman whose whole thing is like, well, for a hood rat is dumb. Plus, their whole thing is, I'm as strong as a man. I'm as
Right,
strong
right,
as a
right.
man.
Or
Instead of just
stronger.
being like,
Or stronger.
I'm a
See,
strong
I don't really
person.
get, I
you
mean,
know
I
what I mean?
don't. The thing that I don't really understand about that is like, why do men feel like they need to tell women? Like, if a woman wants to feel like she's stronger, like physically, we cannot be stronger than many of you. So like, why do men just have to be like? Why do you feel like you have to be like? You're not stronger than us. Like, just let her think that she's stronger. If she wants to throw up some weight and be like, oh, let me just like deadlift this.
yeah,
let me
but that
show
can
you
turn
how
into
much weight.
disrespect. Though.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Why
not.
is that disrespectful?
No. With a lot of them, it's not
It
about the
turned-
weight.
No,
It's
it
not
could
about the
turn
weight at
into
all.
disrespect.
into
So you got to
disrespect.
check it
Not
right
in
when
it.
it happens.
With a lot of them, it's not about the weight. So like, let's say like, so what do you expect out of a man? Let's say that.
A lot.
So what do you like? So like, name a couple of those traits.
Sorry, Mason. I'm so sorry.
I don't know. I expect.
Do you expect him to take control of situations?
It's gonna get-
Not if it's not warranted. Like no, if
fair.
I think if I'm handling it properly, then I don't need anybody to step in and like handle anything for me.
What if it goes improperly?
I mean, it would have to be like, I guess the situation improperly would have to be really. My whole job is like de-escalation. Like I feel like I would love to be one of the like the FBI negotiators that goes and like talks people off the ledge. I really feel like I'm a very good de-escalator. Right. So like when we argue, it's hard to not be reasoning in my head like everything that's why he's behaving the way that he's behaving, and then trying to like not react to that. It's really hard not to react to somebody that you love so much.
So if you're at a bar, right, and you start arguing with another guy, and he goes to hit you, what do you expect Mason to do?
Oh my god, he'd kill somebody.
Do you expect him to do that, or that's just what he does?
I don't expect him to do that. No.
So what do you expect of your man?
I expect them to just love me and support me and treat me well.
That's
and
fair. You're one of those new age women. Because like,
I mean,
there's so many women out there that like be a man. Because I feel like you're not one of the women.
What does that mean?
Okay,
what
exactly.
does that mean?
But
Like, I
these are
want people to
definitely
be
people-
respectful and not argue with each other. To be honest, like I want people to just like get along. I don't understand all this like animosity and like people challenging each other. Just like stay in your own lane.
But,
Like
like,
we're all on our own friggin' journey. Like
That's exactly the
it's
thing. There's
ridiculous.
still a lot of people out there that still have these conceptions of like this is how a man should be and this is how a woman should be, and they're living their lives that way, but still stepping in each other's
Well,
lanes.
they need to step up because it doesn't have to be that way, and your life is a
Traditionally-
lot easier when you just don't like. That's other people's mindset. That's
Yes.
not my own mindset.
Okay.
So you can have your own mindset. You don't have to if you don't believe that that's how people should treat each other or be in those types of like roles, and you don't have to do that.
Traditionally speaking, do you think a man should lead the relationship?
No, not necessarily. Depends on what type of people they are. Like some people
That's
are
what I
just
believe.
not.
That's what I believe too.
You know,
Yeah.
if your woman is able to take charge in situations, then like let them do that.
See, I don't believe they have the ability to do that.
See, and I hate that.
I think
I
there
hate
are
that
plenty
concept
of
because
women
my
that can
father
do that.
owned several businesses, and my mother behind the scenes was helping him with all the details of them because he
financials,
didn't have the financials.
Right.
I mean, he had other side businesses that she had to run because he had to spend most of his time at that. If anything went
Yeah,
wrong,
every-
my mom
every-
instantly had to step
yes,
into
they're great.
a
Yeah,
role.
yeah.
They are excellent at that type of shit.
Yeah,
there's a reason.
excellent.
There's a reason they make such annoying bosses because they're too good at their job.
No,
Particulars.
there's-
They're
to the
yeah.
too good at their fucking job.
Every-
That's
every-
annoying as fuck.
Every CEO needs a secretary.
Yeah.
Who runs that? But who actually runs that company though? Let's pause that. Who actually runs that company? No, the fucking secretary does. The fucking secretary does.
The secretary could leave at any
Why
moment.
do you think
Does the company stop?
jousting?
Does the company stop?
Yeah, put on that joust. Put on that joust, bro. I'm gonna argue this. Nah, duh.
Does the company stop working?
Why do you think secretaries are there for their entire fucking lives?
But they might leave. They leave 5 years in, your company doesn't stop
They're
working.
treated so well, they don't go anywhere.
You know what? They have such a crucial role, and they make shit money a lot of the
Still
time.
replaceable.
So yeah, but they shouldn't be a lot of the time. They shouldn't be.
Should or shouldn't be, doesn't matter.
They run the whole business. I've seen a business literally. They couldn't maintain a secretary for let's say a couple of months, and they lost so much business.
Yeah, you have to have a great secretary. They're very
You're right,
important
and you
people.
can get another good one.
See, bro, you treat them as disposable. That's not right.
He treats them as less.
If your secretary leaves the company, your company is a shit company if it breaks because the secretary leaves.
I mean, that is
as a
true.
business,
That
on a
is
business,
true.
yeah, on the
That
business
is
level,
true.
yeah, that's true.
And on a nature level, inherently, women don't want to lead. We're inherently on a nature level.
That's only because we've been trained that way. That's only because of the.
I disagree.
That's only
I think
because of
that's nature.
social situations. Okay.
I think that's more
disagree.
nature.
It's
Personally,
like really, it's
I think
really
it could be
difficult.
mixed.
It could be
It's
mixed.
really
It could be a mix of the two,
It's really
of course.
difficult to catch you guys up to speed on this. But for women, the entire existence, which this is not like a poor me soapbox, but the entire existence, men have been in power and not allowed women to rise.
This is the argument I was
Like
making.
they have not been able,
right?
listen, it hasn't been very long since we've been able to vote. Let's be real here.
That's the exact point I made too.
Women are not equal. That is the reality. And for people to think that they are,
You're still wrong.
is not
I tried
it's
making the
not
same
accurate.
point. I tried making
Women
the
are
same
not
point.
Yeah,
equal
but-
at this point in the majority of people's eyes, and we should be equal, of course. And we
You
should
go,
make
sister.
the same amount of money,
So
and
then-
we
so
don't.
let's
Like
get
they're
our
crazy.
argument.
So then why don't women
Thank you.
step up and be
Thank you.
better as opposed to men having to be
We
submissive?
don't let them. We don't let them. We don't let them.
Okay, I don't even want to go into.
We are now. We're starting to, but we've never really
women
let
won
them.
Hillary
Okay.
won the popular vote. Don't even get me started on that. But
Do you think it's okay for a man to hit a woman?
No, I
Then
don't.
how are we equal?
I don't think it's okay for women to hit men either. I don't think it's okay for people to hit each other. I don't think it's okay for people
Well,
to
we
be
need to hit each
physically
other.
aggressive with
We need
people.
to hit each other. though.
I do
Why?
agree with that
We
too,
have to.
but
We do have
I
to.
do agree. Your point is
Why?
right. But
Why do we need to
that's
hit
right.
each
Because
other?
that's just
Take
reality.
a deep breath
Because
and
if
keep
somebody
it
approaches
moving.
you, let's say you're my woman, somebody approaches you, I'm going to hurt that man immediately.
Why? There's no need for that.
Yes.
There's
But
no need for that.
No.
But that man needs to
But that's
understand.
because you just
not
have
to
a
ever-
woman's perspective on that.
Right.
We're telling you this is what the man's
Oh,
I'm telling
man.
you, I'm telling you
Like,
now.
war
That
is
there's really no.
necessary.
That does
Like, all
not
that's
make
necessary.
you more attractive to me.
No, I'm not talking
We're
about
not talking about
nothing to
that.
do with
We're not
attraction.
talking about
This has
So
nothing to do with attraction.
there's a little bit of thing of this. So I know you've seen those kids that they haven't really learned that anything can get them. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So that's why they walk
invincible.
around.
Invincible.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
like there are I've had my brother's in his 20s. There are many times where he just becomes insufferable, and they're literally on months on end, and then all of a sudden one fist fight, new person.
Yeah, but what is he doing during that fist fight? What is he doing? That's what I'm asking.
Regaining
He's
his
relieving his
confidence as a
stress,
man.
Right,
but
but
he
there
doesn't know how
are
to-
so many more ways
are,
to gain
there are,
confidence
there are.
besides punching somebody in the
There
face.
are, but
But
what
this
is
is how we
what
are
is free and
naturally.
efficient?
But that's
You're
how men
punching
are.
You're arguing against the nature.
You're not
of
wrong.
man.
You're not wrong.
Like this is how we're born. In,
Ideally,
in our
I agree with
DNA.
To be aggressive?
Yeah.
I disagree with
Yes.
that. I disagree
man,
with
yeah,
that.
boys
I
are
don't
very
think that you're made to be aggressive. I think that to
But you're not.
roughhouse
But
and
you're not a
play.
man. How
Competition
would you
is
know
more-
that?
No, I know, but
It's
I've
more
seen
competition
just
than
like
it is
you know,
aggression.
like
But I'm telling you what
more-
men are feeling. This
it's
is
more-
as
No,
a
No.
man.
That's what
Maybe
you're
white
feeling.
guys are feeling. Maybe
No,
white
that's
guys are
what
feeling.
you're
I ain't feeling that.
That's what you're
Bro, I've
feeling.
I ain't feeling that.
I've seen you
It's
got the
more-
hot-blooded ready to
Yeah.
fight in you for sure.
Yeah, but my thing is that do you know why I play basketball instead of football?
So you
Why?
wouldn't kill someone?
Because I think there's something that is not as
You didn't want
respectable
brain
about
damage?
being a brute. I think there's a lot more to being an intellectual than a brute, and basketball is an intellectual sport. Because honestly, on every point, every movement I make, I have to think about it. It's a chess game the whole way. Football, half of the team is sumo wrestling, the other half are playing chess or checkers. Like I can't fucks with that. I can't fucks with
Right,
that.
right. But
It's more of a brute sport than basketball
But
is, and that's why I chose
It's more
basketball.
opposing your will.
But
for
I've
sure,
still watched.
but-
I've
Through
still.
physical
thinking- But
assertion.
there's still thinking involved.
There is, but I'd rather it be all the time than 2 seconds.
But I've
Ugh,
Okay.
I've still watched you almost choke a motherfucker though for disrespecting you.
and I didn't, and I told you I wasn't going to. But intimidation
was close.
Intimidation is still mental.
It was ready to go there.
Intimidation is still mental. I expect that. I expect that. I expect that approach, but nobody can tell me what I'm about to do.
I'll say this about men: whenever men are talking, there's always like this thing that
power struggle.
It could always get physical. That's a nature thing. That's just how men see each other. We're very. I think it's more competition than it is
I've
aggression.
been in plenty. I've witnessed many fights. I've had a boy beat me up before, to be honest. So like I'm aware of the physical aggression.
Yeah, you're a piece
that
of
like
crap.
takes place with men, and that you just can't. You get to a boiling point where you cannot control.
Men just
your
express
emotions.
themselves
I'm aware of that, but I think that there's. That's because we have not allowed men to evolve to the point of that you don't feel like you need to
our
be
nature
aggressive.
doesn't allow us to.
You don't need to be aggressive. That's not necessary for
men,
me. That's not.
I agree more with her.
Other people
I agree with her.
Men grow out of that, the
necessary,
physicalness, as they get older too.
And that's why I kind of agree with her. So in every other species,
as
the
our
women are the
testosterone goes
aggressors.
down,
Right, you're
right.
absolutely right.
In every other
also
species-
becomes less ferocious when it gets older too.
In every other species,
it's
the
still a
woman,
lion.
the woman is still the aggressor. Even in that species as well, the woman's the aggressor. So
Yeah,
let's not do that.
and they still follow the
In a
king.
pride?
In a pride,
And they still follow
women
the
are
king.
aggressive more often than the men are. The men are aggressive in very sporadic
but if you
exertions.
compare the aggressions, who runs the pride is the male.
Yeah.
So no matter
on a
how
pound per pound basis.
That's
Yeah,
only
you're
because
talking
they
about in
are
terms of frequency.
physically
Who's
more
running the pride?
capable many of the times. It's only because they're
In
physically
the animal kingdom, you
able
don't fight
to.
something physical body. You don't
Right,
fight
they're
something more physically
physically
able
more
than you. You don't.
capable.
Yes, even when there's
don't
8
do
of
it.
them.
they do hunt things that's physically more.
They always go for the weak of them. They always go for the weak of the ones that can't go
If
away,
the
get
pride is
away.
big enough, they will try to attack.
No,
No,
they look for the
no,
weakest.
they
No,
don't.
no,
The
a buffalo.
only
They
time
look for a
that
weak
the
buffalo though.
the only time they're going
still-
up the strongest is when they're getting a mate. That's the only time that they're
Yeah.
going to fight the most capable is when they're trying to get
Only
the
time.
best woman. That's
Because they
the
don't
best
have doctors.
female. That's the only
They ain't
time.
got doctors. There's no fixing them up once they're injured. You know what I mean?
That's the only time.
That's a
That's the
lifetime.
only time. Like if they're hunting for prey, they're going for the weakest, the old, the sick.
Yeah,
the,
for
you
sure,
know,
for
what-
sure.
the
Yeah.
whatever.
That's why so many of them risk their lives to have sex
Yeah, but
when they don't do it any other time.
Right. Because they out in the open.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't live. They
Like-
live in dens or woods or anything like that.
I feel that like
Still the king of the
as she
jungle.
was saying, I feel
I
that
still think male aggression
you
is.
Still
see,
the king of the jungle.
I don't know if it's nature versus nurture, but I know
It's a mix.
In
There's a lot. Yeah,
in
it's
nurture,
very-
we definitely as men, the reason we don't talk as much as women do is because we haven't been taught to express ourselves.
Or
They're
men
constantly
don't like to, or men
expressing
don't like to
themselves.
express themselves.
Men
How
are
do we
not
know?
as
We don't
verbal.
know.
Men
That's what
are
I'm
not
saying.
In
as
most
verbal.
cultures,
It
in most
could be mixed.
cultures, it's shameful for a man to express himself. How did we get to that?
Yeah,
How did we get to
also-
that?
Because
our brains are
talking makes
different.
me unhappy.
Our brains are
Yes.
different. Our brains are different.
That could
I
be-
Women
don't
and men.
want to
Men are treated
fucking
differently.
talk to them.
So
Right.
you
Right.
talking about how a man feels may be seen as complaining from in terms of society. A man, if you're able-bodied as a man, you're supposed to go out there and get on your 2 feet and take care of whatever.
Let me ask you this
business
question.
you're supposed to take care of.
Do you know a lot of Indian people? Like from India?
Just like doctors.
Doctors?
And stuff, yeah.
Have you met a lot of Indian people?
Yeah.
Have you?
Yes.
Do they talk a lot?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. The men equally, right?
Yes. I would
And
say
that's those are billions of people. So to say that men don't talk, no, they talk enough for all the men on the
I'm not
planet.
talking about talking in general. I'm talking about the feelings in terms of.
They express
frustration.
themselves too. The more they talk, the more that there's less and less to say. So eventually you get to your feelings. They express themselves very well.
I don't know enough about their society to know if they're ashamed for talking about things that bother them. That's something that is here in our
Yeah,
current
it's
society for
unfortunate.
sure.
Stigma.
In
is
most
huge.
places.
Because it sounds like you're complaining as a man instead of doing what you're supposed to take care of. Like I remember
That'll stop you from talking.
whenever I had friends who were struggling and they were having man problems, I call it. I would always tell them, "Hey man, stop complaining and get out there and do what you're supposed
Well,
to."
everybody has problems.
So what's he gonna do? He's gonna
Yeah.
sit there
Because life
thinking
doesn't
about
stop.
it, not
life
talking.
doesn't stop for you. So I'm looking at it pragmatically, more so
Yeah.
than just you're not supposed to express your feelings. It's like, well, if you're gonna be sitting here pouting, then you're
Yeah.
not fixing whatever the issue is.
Everybody should be able to express their feelings.
Express it.
It's just like
But solve it while you
Yeah,
express
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
You
See, I don't-
express
I
it
don't
to a
like that
friend,
because
and
a
then
lo-
you solve it, and then you
I
fucking
understand.
handle
A lot
your
of people
business.
don't know how to solve their problem. They don't have the same life experiences. So a lot of people, all they know how to do is let it out.
Yes,
and
I'm
then
a
that's
product
when the
of my
solution
experience.
starts.
Yes.
Then.
Right, I don't.
I'm a
Hey,
product
I
of my
don't
experience.
know how to do stand up, but I still go up and try and figure out how to do it.
All right, bitch, but you also sit here and talk to me and Gerby about it all the time too.
Yes.
So you doing both, bro.
Yes.
Don't act like it's some type of unicorn. We're always like, yeah, you can do that shit, but still, you talk to us first. You did before you got up on your first thing. You talked with us first. You got that backdrop, and that also wasn't the first time you were on stage. You had a culpable experience to being on stage and being in front of people, and that's the hardest freaking part.
I think one of the hard things is that people.
Sorry, I got it.
People end up listening to other people's influences
I didn't like that.
too much. People end up listening to other people's influences too much that might not necessarily have the best intentions at heart. So, like, a lot of people get themselves into trouble because then they go down a path that they don't really like. They're just lost, like, in the world. You know, brings it back to just not knowing yourself and not knowing what you want. Is hard to navigate what you want to do next when you don't know that. So people make all kinds of impulsive decisions.
I would agree that our society does fail young boys in terms of letting them
Big
know
time.
Is that that having negative feelings is okay to express them.
Of course, everybody has negative feelings.
Yes, this is true.
Please, little white boys, start talking. We don't need any more shootings,
not,
okay?
all
more
boys.
shootings.
I
know, but they ain't walking into churches just.
Yeah, that's true.
Just saying.
But black boys are killing each other, though.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
we have our own issues.
I'm just saying that's a one-on-one versus a 1 to like 1,000.
Well, in terms of hurting the society versus hurting one person that bothers you is way different. So, but I'm just saying, like, I do think there's some, but I think maybe some of it is just nature. It's just in our nature.
I think it's all nature
to express ourselves physically like that.
It's very.
I think that's the easiest to do, and that's why we think it's nature.
But no, I mean, when you boil it down to the root, though, the most common denominator is going by nature, whether it's men and women, and certainly there's like exceptions to it, but like more often than not,
nature doesn't make it right or make it good.
Yeah.
See, I think
how
you guys are
nature level.
It's just the way it is.
Nature does not mean without thought.
Yeah, there are plenty of women that want to whack men when they're being annoying.
And don't do it.
And there's
like,
women
you just
that
don't do it. Yeah, and you're right. And there are aggressive
and most
women.
of them have been
Right,
brought into
and then there's
instinctual-
also women that wield the power knowing that societally men can't hit them, so they will nag and continue to do shit going because they know, I know you can't hit me, but I can keep saying shit and pushing
That's
buttons.
unfortunate, and that's why women have some of the stereotypes that they do, because some do that. And that's
But is it stereotypes or is it nature? See, I think it's nature.
Is it nature to wield power? Yes. I mean, power is what everybody is searching for, really.
Nature.
So
Yeah,
that's
and
like,
power-
is your
power
aggression
corrupts.
is your aggression actually power? I mean, that's something to think about. Like,
Yeah, it's
you
power
are more
expressed. Yeah.
right. You're
Supposed
being
power
more
expressed.
powerful.
No, it's
you're
definitely
controlling a situation in a way that you can, because you're physically more able to take control of a situation. So
you're
that's
saying
your power.
men are more powerful.
I'm saying physically
pound
most
per
of
pound
the
basis?
time, yes. I'm
So
saying, you know,
then
there's
if that's the case, then I'm not wrong earlier when I said that women then need to rise up versus men having to come down to make
rise
it
up
equal.
to what? Though?
Rise up.
Rise up
Because
to what?
men are having to suppress being men to make women feel equal.
Being men, how though? I'm saying be yourself in every regard.
But you're kind of double talking because
let's all sit back and let him.
Because you're kind of double talking because you're saying that, but you're also saying men need to like hold back on their aggression and all of the things that they're feeling. So then
I don't think people should be physical. That's why I think that
But
your
men
physical
are
aggression.
physical.
We're physical.
We
by
are
nature.
physical. So
But I'm saying that is
It might
because
just be-
you
And
are.
I
I'm saying,
disagree.
no. I'm saying
might
that
just be our
you
flaw
are
as humans.
physical
I disagree with that.
because
It might
that
be.
is how you
That's what I'm
feel like you have power. That's my interpretation and only mine. So
Once-
take it for what it's worth. But I'm
once a
saying that
person-
the way that it's easiest for men a lot of the time to take control of a situation
Is to do it
is to
physically.
be
Yes.
physical.
Yeah, no
and that's not, and that might be
Sure.
an innate, and that might be an
But we're also
Might be.
but
nature.
we're also
Yeah,
more
might
logical than you.
Once
I
a
don't-
human
I
being,
don't think
once a
that
human
that's
being,
necessarily true.
once a human being has
Then-
more
then it-
more
do you think of that
arrows in
statement?
their quiver. Once a person has more knowledge in their head, they tend to deal with situations in other ways than physical. Once they have more knowledge, it's
If you
just
take a
physical
deep
is
breath,
always knowledge
yeah.
that we have.
If you take a deep breath and think about things, most of the time you don't want to be physical with something.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to solve anything.
So,
You're
like,
not-
you're
not
gonna
gonna
say
give
that
me
guy-
answers.
I just don't let anyone have that power.
You're gonna say that guys are mostly physical? Most guys that see me, most
But,
guys.
like, why are you
Is
getting
it?
to
Is it
that
because most
point?
guys when they see me instantly think of a new way to address their anger? instantly.
No, but
they instantly think of a new way.
If it had to,
there are, but they instantly think of a different way because there are a lot easier ways to deal with me as well.
If it had to get physical, it would get physical. But I'm not gonna.
What's have to get physical? I'm frustrated. You're frustrated. What has to get physical?
Men fight.
Isn't that physical?
If you and I
had, and they're different.
If you and I had
Yeah.
legitimate
That's how I
beef, but you and I haven't, nor would we ever really have a reason to have legitimate beef.
I have fist fought my best friend, bro. We can have. There's a lot of reasons to have beef.
Yeah, but men fight. Men fight. Regardless of
men
size
also can fight and get over it and move on.
Yeah,
like
that's
there's
different
like I get what you're saying. You're an intimidating guy. Most guys
just
would look at it and go like, but like if it had to go there, I'm not gonna just like not fight you for the sake of like, I'm afraid.
No, certain
You might do it out of you might not do it out of being afraid. You might do it out of self-preservation because getting an injury is not something someone wants to do. Any animal doesn't want to get an injury.
Because as men get older, we become less and less.
You avoid it. Yeah, because injuries stay longer and longer.
Well, you gain wisdom. You gain wisdom.
Yeah,
you gain
more arrows in the quiver.
You do.
So all I'm saying is, it's possible that when we're young,
human beings are at their lowest levels of testosterone ever in human existence right now, and we have some of the most killings in. So. That's disputable.
That's what I'm saying. You're fighting
What's
nature.
Disputable?
We're at an all-time low for testosterone.
But nature doesn't make it right.
And we still kill a lot.
But it still exists. I'm not saying it's
okay. It's good. Like it exists.
That's true. I mean, if you're playing percentages, though, I think they did a lot more killing back in the day.
There has to be some happy medium.
It's why. I mean, like. Look at your own husband. I mean, he's very much an alpha male. He's like a man, and it's like that's why you're into him. It's not because he's this like quiet.
I mean, no, I do wish he would tone it down a bit. A lot of the time.
Yeah, but then he can't defend you as well as he does now.
But he doesn't always necessarily need to defend me.
I'm not saying he needs to. I'm just saying when the moment comes, that situation comes up, he needs to have all that aggression that you don't want him to have to be able to deal with that situation.
You see, like I don't know,
we don't walk around with our aggression on.
So that time that she spoke about earlier, where he was like, "Don't talk to her." There are many ways to deal with that situation. Yeah. You know what? He could just sit by and wait, see if they can both get a drink. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like there are many ways.
He turned it on and
didn't need it at that time.
Irish wanted to say something.
Well, we're gonna steamroll right by the fact that earlier I said men are more logical.
We are more logical,
and she disagreed with that.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think that's true.
Well, I think you.
I don't want to get.
Are you saying that because the way you are, you're more logical?
Turncoat.
You're as logical than any man that you've ever dealt with?
I think that
because you're very rare.
I think because
you're speaking to other women.
It's funny because a lot of you guys are smarter than us. But yes, I find you guys a lot of the times to be less logical.
I think so. Yes, I think emotion takes emotion a lot of the time.
Yes.
But it's only with. A lot of the time, it is really only with Mason that my emotions really that I react in a way that I wish I didn't react in.
No,
however, I am always willing to take responsibility for my reaction to something if I think that it was inappropriate or over the top or whatever.
Clearly.
But you know, so as long as you're willing to do that and take that step, I think that's important, and that makes you a logical person. If you're able to,
if you can get back to logic, I
think that a lot of the time men are not. You know, you're more concrete. So it's easier to be more logical when you're more concrete. Women read into things a lot of the time, and we need to understand that you're really
because
not
you're more emotional.
Right. That you and a lot of us really need to understand that what you say is really what you mean, and there's not a whole lot of thought behind it. It just is what it is.
Yeah, it's not double meanings.
And instead, a lot of women are spinning their wheels trying to create something out of what you said, on the fly, because you were heading towards the bathroom and didn't give a shit what we were saying. And we're trying to make something out of it.
And often when I see these situations, I'll be like, stop thinking about it with girl brain, because half the time you guys are literally dealing with other women. Well, this is the way that a woman would deal with that situation. She'd give you some comment, you'd be like, what did she really mean by that? And she really did mean something different by that.
It's easier to be a man.
And honestly, a lot of times too, it's for lack of a better term, pretty girl syndrome, where it's a lot of pretty chicks have not had to really argue much with a guy.
Challenged.
Or be challenged.
Ugly girl syndrome too.
Up into a point where they were afraid that they were going to miss out on some pussy, and then they had to reel back because
guys
you're right.
do that. Yes,
because phony guys do the fuck out of that.
Guys would dumb themselves out.
Some guys lose all self-respect when it comes to attractive women. It's just literally, literally, they lose all self-respect.
Yep.
Oh wait, you want me to lay on the ground and while you shit on my back? I'll do that. and then all of a sudden they see a girl that doesn't look like her, but like, you think I don't have self-respect? Like, what the fuck, bro? You just like yesterday, like, really, dude? No, it's sad. It's sad, especially when a guy thinks that the girl is out of his league. Yo, he does some crazy shit.
Yeah, but I think a lot of it is connected to our maturity levels too. When we're young, we're very immature. Men and women.
Yeah.
And so we're ruled by
most
women are better people than us. You can be hideous and get a beautiful ass girl, Doug.
Yes, in that regard.
I've done it.
In that regard,
I've done it.
Your personality means
it takes a young guy going through a lot of pain before they really develop the logic.
Right.
Because a young guy's very susceptible to being emotional until they've gone through enough shit where they go like, why am I feeling this? Okay, remove emotion from everything. You have to be like cold.
Yeah, and I don't have to destroy everything to
If it doesn't work, I ain't got to blow it up.
Yeah,
exactly.
So that's what I'm saying. That's the nature part of us that I could fix this by destroying it all. And so I think it might be we're just immature when we're young men, and this is why we're so violent and so aggressive and things like that, and then competitive.
Not enough experience. Like what I've settled around is that the reason everyone hates the young, not enough life experiences. Because once you get more of them under your belt,
youth is wasted on.
It's like, damn, yo, I really could have handled that a lot differently. Now that I've dealt with it 10 times. That first time, that was stupid.
Right.
That's all it is.
Being able to do that is the most important part of everybody's life. It's being able to look at your behavior and decide whether that was appropriate or not, and whether you could have done it differently or better. Well, and then it's trying to do it better the next time because you learned from that.
Staying aware.
Situation.
Hopefully,
you learn from that it's hard because it's like. The trick is really just everyone being honest, but no one really wants to hear honesty anymore.
Right.
Like,
well, that's what makes it really hard.
And especially, it's just like even like a lot of the shit I say is like shocking, but it's like I think Patrice used to say even it's like I don't know why man honesty is often mistaken as misogyny.
Yo, like me being outwardly sexual, and me being me like always being who I am. Sometimes women, like at the beginning, like women would look at me, they're like, "Oh, he's probably a womanizer, thing like this." And like once you sit down and talk to me, it's like, "Oh, damn, he holds women in very high regard." But it's like, why can't I still be sexual and all that and still hold women? Like, why do they have to?
Well, I think unfortunately because too many people have given that stereotype a bad reputation. Like there aren't many people that are able to just speak that. Like, Mason is the most upfront. Like stuff comes out of his mouth that I've literally never heard a person say before, and it's like
likewise,
So, and I'm just like Mason, like, oh my God, don't ever repeat that out loud. But I like you. I mean, I don't know. It's just like
I learned in college that there are a lot of people like Mason in the world, and I learned this in college. So like. I used to think every white guy was just like being racist. Yo, a lot just don't fucking know. You know what I mean? A lot just don't fucking know. No, I know, but like once you come upon that realization, like I take all racism with like a bucket of salt. You know what I mean? It's like, how did you really mean to say that? You know what I mean? Like it's like, all right, let's look for what you were really looking for.
I try to not make everything about me.
Yeah, you can't take anything personal.
That's also very important.
That's why. Well,
don't take yourself too seriously.
I don't take myself too seriously.
Yep.
Sometimes maybe I should probably take.
No. That's the best way to run through life. Why? If you take yourself that seriously, you get offended by everything.
I don't know why I just remembered this, but when I was young and lived in Alabama, this had to be like first grade. I had
King story time.
I don't think we ever finished the clip, so we're gonna have to go back. But yeah.
Hey, wait. This is so fucking random. And we lived in like what is now like a very meth heavy like trailer park trash area, and I just remembered though, like in first grade, did you guys ever read the book of Mice and Men?
Yep.
Remember not in first grade.
Yeah, Lenny.
You read that in first grade?
Yeah, Lenny.
No.
Anybody else get that? That's a rough book for first grade. Like
I didn't read it in first grade. I was just
Jesus.
But you.
Oh yeah, I didn't read it till high school.
Yeah, no,
you remember the main.
You said first grade. I was like,
No, I was in first grade. But do you remember that book?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
You remember the main character had the retarded friend Lenny?
Yeah, Lenny. Yeah.
I had a 16-year-old retarded black friend named Dennis.
Right.
We just fucking like went everywhere together.
Right.
And like I don't know why I just forgot that until now, but like everything. Like we would go fucking like romping through the woods, through the town, and I just think about how like silly that must have looked just first grade.
He was Pinky, you was the brain.
Yep. Yeah. Yo, Pinky's loyal as hell, bro.
Super loyal.
Yo, love Pinky.
Oh man.
Idiot.
He was the shit.
Yeah, loyal.
What other clips we got?
All right, let's go into our
That Lizzo clip took us on a long tangent. I had to think about where this shit started. I was like, Lizzo?
because once Irish stuff goes into women are
Oh
less,
man,
then
yo.
it's just like
so like it's weird. So like
I know I'm a little. I mean, I'm surprised, but I'm
not
happy
talking
they're
about
being honest.
I'm not talking about you
like-
specifically.
No, I know
just your
that.
kind.
I know.
Just
I
in
know.
women.
I
we
know.
have
And in
all
general.
similar like
Yes.
approaches to similar approaches to women, but like mine is pro, his is pro man.
Very pro-man.
Pro man.
That's obvious.
Slightly pro Irish. Slightly pro Irish.
Or pro Irish.
More pro Irish.
But it's not pro man in that I'm like anti woman. It's just
Yeah.
to me
I mean,
my
obviously, you want
You
to
stopped right before the line.
I have I don't
I'm not
have a
anti-woman,
problem.
just
My problem with women is I resent the power that they wield over and the
But-
hoops that they make
and
us
like,
jump for and
his-
all
I
of
would
this.
Well, it's
say-
unfortunate that
that's the
somebody made
exchange.
you. It's unfortunate that somebody gave you that
It's not
impression.
somebody. It's all of y'all. It's all of
Well,
y'all.
it's upsetting that everyone
Yeah,
that
but
you've
that's how.
interacted
But
with
they
has given
have
you that
to. I don't
impression.
know. I think women need. If they didn't
And
have
he's
their
somewhere
sex
in the
appeal,
middle. Like his is honestly like
yeah, I'm in the
it's
middle.
spontaneous.
Yeah.
Like it sways either way, but it's somewhere
I believe
in the
men
middle.
and women need each other.
Because my
Desperately.
because
Desperately.
my problem
Well,
is
yeah, I
that
mean, you
my
can't-
problem is
you
that
can't
I understand
continue to
women's
exist without them.
perspective, but women don't
And I'm not
understand
against,
men's
same,
perspective, and
you know,
so
whatever.
they don't make the same compromises that we make.
They don't need
This-
to.
they
They're
don't
different.
have to.
They're
Yes,
different
don't have-
entity.
They don't have
yeah,
to.
and it's stupid to me.
I mean, maybe I.
Why? They
You keep
live
going back to
different.
nature, but then when it comes to women now, nature just tossed out the window. They're just bad people.
Like
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not. It's not their fault that they're set up
Right.
this way. Right,
Like
but
he's
it's
mad
but
that
when
got
you
to
say
set up
things
this
like
way
that, you make it
naturally,
sound
and
like
he
it's
feels
their
like
I'm
it's
still
unfair,
allowed
but
to be
he's
annoyed
still,
by
like,
it.
he's
Okay,
always
that's fine.
saying.
I don't blame them by it.
I agree.
Give you some
I agree.
female hormones, and it would.
But
I
I
mean,
think
yeah,
it
you
does
can
affect
think
you.
so.
I think it does
What?
affect the way you
I mean,
treat
it'd
them.
probably make your hair a lot longer or something. I don't
It does
know.
not need to be
make
any
it beautified.
Please. You know how many women tell me they're jealous of my hair?
I don't know how many guys tell you that it's
jealous.
cute. Like I want to get you in a
Oh.
cell block. In the back of the cell block.
Oh, a girlfriend? He didn't. Girlfriend.
He'd be the girlfriend in the
that's
cell
okay.
block. Yeah,
I don't know if they're
My
cute
guy
enough.
named
I'll
Bubba.
hold their pocket. I don't-
you'd be holding a lot of things.
Yeah, holding his pocket.
I only got 2 hands. Okay.
Oh, you got a mouth too. Let's go to the
In a
next.
booty hole.
Oy vey.
It's shaved.
Oh, you speak Yiddish? I'm on that.
It's still shaved up too from that
Oy vey is
soldier from
I
2019.
thought it was Yiddish.
I think it's Latin.
Yeah, that's last year.
Now I gotta look
Yeah.
this up.
That's
look
old
at him. I
news.
thought it was Latin.
The question is, who's eating my ass in 2020?
Why? Because what would it be in? Oh, Yiddish.
Wow,
I mean, you could be right.
that's
I don't know.
disrespectful, sir.
Men's asses are disgusting. I don't understand.
Hey, mine.
shave
I
it
keep
up.
mine pristine.
Right.
No, 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 no.
You should-
Women are true.
Don't. Nah, I'm a booty guy, so I respect the fuck out of my booty too.
Can we be real? Wait, so
Women are
you shave up
soldiers.
your ass?
I don't. I'm the least hairy person you'll ever find. I
Okay,
don't have
so-
hair
so you don't have
anywhere.
hair.
Me
So maybe you won't know for context, but you've probably never shaved your butt.
No, I don't have to. I'm not a hairy guy.
Yeah, I am. So,
You have to shave your ass?
yeah. If I want to get my ass eaten, yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Unreal.
Respect that shit.
The difference in fart sounds
And ass hair?
with and without. Like
Right.
without now, like it kind of like it like claps out of there, and it's almost like when it.
I kind of smart.
Yiddish.
I kind
It
of
was
smart.
Yiddish.
It's a little bit.
when you
Well,
first
thank you,
fart,
now
it's
I
kind of
know.
like
I got you.
someone
I
playing a
go to a lot of
ventriloquist
Jews.
act with your ass.
A lot of
And
Jews.
you Googled it. Let's see.
No, but I knew it was Yiddish before Google.
Yeah, he said it was Yiddish. I don't know. Somebody must have
I don't
told me
like
it
to
was
give it
Latin.
credit. All right, let's go on to the next item.
Who's that? What was the caption?
Look at these people just filming.
So a woman, this guy's getting married. That was her ex,
Oh
and then
no.
she's crashing. She's crashing the wedding.
Wait, that's her ex?
That's her ex, the husband, the groom.
Oh, I thought. Oh,
Dude's
okay.
wedding gets
I thought
crashed
you were
by
saying that was his girlfriend's ex.
Why do
his
people
wife's
do
ex, I
that?
mean.
Why do people do that at weddings?
Let's focus on the culprit here. Why
'Cause
did she do that?
I think that's why she was saying it. That's what she-
Yeah. Why do people do that at weddings?
Yeah.
Like, why do people interrupt weddings like that? Like, you could have
know-
gone the day before
People-
to tell them you
can-
still
let's
loved
be
it.
honest. How many
Same
times do you
reason
really see a
people jump
man?
off
And,
public.
right. How
Can we be
often
honest?
do you see
We
men-
should
how often
correct
do you
that
see
statement. How many times
crash
you see a
wedding?
man running and no, don't do it. Don't
Crash
get
a
married.
wedding.
That's
Never.
true. But it's the same reason people commit suicide in public too. You know what I'm saying? They want the collateral damage
I guess you're right.
because you could all those you could just do real quick and easy. But
All right. So, question: She went and decided to do that.
Yeah. She should have been prepared. She should have put on a football pads, helmet.
But my thinking is that they've been broken up for a while.
Yeah.
So why now? Why now come to the wedding? You know he probably has moved on, has a girlfriend. Why now crash the wedding? It's not going to change his mind.
Hollywood made her think that would be a good idea.
Hollywood?
Maybe.
Yeah, probably. Because then if you crash it in that way, maybe he marries you.
Or maybe in her mind playing on like day of jitters, like some people do get like crazy days.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But
they get cold
I don't
feet.
know.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good point.
It's a stupid tactic. You look crazy.
Very stupid tactic.
Yeah, I'd like to know like how often that works, that tactic. Because I'm not. Yeah, I don't think it does very often.
Once.
Yeah, I mean there are some men out there that probably would be turned on by that.
You know, yeah.
Nah, I'll be horrified.
Nah, because you would have embarrassed me in front of my family.
Yeah, I'll be horrified.
Okay, interesting point.
Oh, yeah.
I know some
if you shame me in front of my family,
people,
it's a
then.
problem.
Nah, it's not even that. It's not shaming me because we're done.
What's shameful about it? Yeah.
There's nothing about that. It's just like I'll be horrified because my family and her family are there, and it's supposed to be a day that we're celebrating.
I agree. I can't even come up with a reason of why you would do
you
that. I don't know why
yeah.
you would do that.
My family would be laughing so hard.
Oh yeah, my family would be laughing too.
You'd make that wedding, like you'd make the wedding for them, because like there's nothing more the Africans love more than a good fight.
Yeah,
and like, especially like a good fight between like a group of people. Like, are you serious? Because like you would have had to run through all the security. So like you would have had to like you would have had swim moves
run quickly. And
says the guy is not about fighting. I'm just fucking with you.
No, I think you should find ways to avoid fighting. But I am big for a reason. Don't make me. But I do think it should be my last option because of how large I am. But yeah, sure.
Agreed.
It's too easy.
Let's go to the next clip. Did you? Yeah. Okay, you did put it up. Okay. Yeah, great. I love this.
Oh my god! Do you know what this is?
No.
Do you know who B2K is?
Kinda.
Okay.
You can't remember.
But I don't care. I'm living my truth. Okay. We're gonna get into
B2K, like they're old school.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Hell no, we wanted that European tour, Fizz. I mean, that would have been, but I'm good.
Yo, I feel this dude. Yo, Fizz is messing with their money.
Is still available to do this international tour.
I look at it like this. I don't fault nobody for wanting to live their truth. You know, all I say is be strategic about your business. Get the money.
Thank you.
You feel me?
Marcus Houston, Omarion's brother.
I'm gonna sleep with you. But
So,
on some real, his name is in your paperwork, right?
In what paperwork?
Court paperwork, right?
Yeah.
So feel a way about it. Let's not be frank.
Yeah.
That's Omarion's baby mama.
Family, what's up?
So Lil Fizz
Okay, you know the situation.
is fucking Omarion's recently divorced. Did they get married?
I don't think they were ever married.
Well, baby mama. And Omarion really is not feeling it, and they're supposed to be having a B2K tour right now. So if Omarion ends up not putting the rest of them on, they're fucked, and they don't make their money. And like Fizz is literally fucking. There are 4 members. Fizz fucking this girl.
Rasby has mental issues.
Why is he doing that?
I mean, like nobody cares what. Like fuck it, they're adults. Their reasons are their reasons. But like. Can you make this money first? Like you had to be this public about it. Like, bro, nobody's telling you to be ashamed of your situation, but like, do you have to poke the bear?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't giving him a hug doing this. Like you gotta.
My question is Fizz is saying, well, the reason why I kind of did it was because we're not actually friends, and
that's cool.
And
that's neither here nor there.
I don't know. Like I feel like when you mix business with pleasure,
you can't do it. You can't do it.
It's
just like a whole different kind of life
Bro,
that we know nothing about. It's just like who knows?
I mean, like,
who knows why it got that
would you step on your boss's toes? Like literally, this is the person that controls your money. You know what I'm saying?
No, I try not to.
This guy's way bigger than you publicly.
Right.
And this guy literally is holding the door.
Crazy shit for.
And then there was some jealousy there that he has always been jealous of Omar.
Yeah, because you can have any woman, really, his.
Yeah. So there's like a lot. There's a lot behind that too. There's a lot to unpack.
Yeah, and then her too. She could have chose. Well, maybe
so much so that you're on Love and Hip Hop. You're on Love and Hip Hop, trying to get money still, and you have an opportunity because tour is where you make this money.
Right, tour is how you make money.
And you gonna pass that up?
Wait,
you mean you can't come back and then do that? Like,
wait, you don't make money from album sales anymore?
Bro, that's that.
Oh yeah,
like, well, fuck you.
He
knows. I'm like, yo, what the hell?
You know personally.
I mean, do they make anything on the MP3s?
That was a joke.
No, I know, but I'm asking an honest question.
I'm kidding.
I don't know. Ask a guy who's sold more than 2 copies of his album.
Hey,
Gotcha,
at least
gotcha.
you got more. You have 2 more than I do.
Do you have an album?
No, I have nothing. That's what I'm saying.
When you do, it'll get more than 2 copies. I can assure you.
Don't worry. Every other artist I know has more than 2. I got you.
Wow.
I thought we were taking shots. I thought we were taking shots.
I was trying to encourage.
Oh,
the
my
boy,
bad.
man.
I thought we were taking shots, dude.
You know the deal. Don't lie to me.
Oh man,
It's a tough business.
I know the truth tastes better with a little like grape
Music
soda
is a difficult.
I mean it does, but I mean the artist I'm gonna bring up in here, he got a few sales and stuff.
All right, let's go into our final clip. This is more funny.
Yes.
So,
I love.
he's protesting vegans. Right now.
I love his stance.
They're
That stance right there, man.
Yeah.
That stance.
He's
That stance.
protesting vegans.
While
and-
they're protesting.
Oh,
So
he's eating KFC.
So he's just started eating KFC. I thought that was hilarious.
That's not nice.
Being a troll.
That's not nice.
Do something fun. I don't know. I feel like our society in a weird way is like it's almost like it's like what do you call it?
We're overprotective of everyone.
That
Of everyone's feelings. Jesus Christ. Nobody's allowed to hurt at all,
what's the word
ever.
I'm looking for here. It's almost seems like I don't want to call it virtue signaling. Like I don't want to call it that per se, but it's like
Being opposed.
it's like the virtue Olympics. You know, everybody's trying to prove or show how much more virtuous than they are versus other people all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm not against vegans. I think well, you could do whatever you want. It's America. Fuck it. But at the same time, to make people feel shameful about eating animals or whatever, it's just I feel like it's a little too much. It's one thing if you want to do like awareness, but the shame, throwing blood on people and all that.
Well, I mean, shaming people never works.
Yeah.
I mean, it works a very small percentage
Very
of the
small,
time, and it's a very
very
limited gain.
Right.
It doesn't last for long, so
good
it's
point.
really not a good tactic.
Yeah.
Well,
Especially as
and a lot of
negotiator,
these people are just ignorant about like how all of that works. Like if you hate like animal cruelty and all of that, like that's fine if you want to hate like factory farming and all
Yeah.
that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. But like these people that like try and be assholes to like hunters and stuff. Like look at someone like Rogan. Rogan will go out and kill like an elk, and then his whole family will just eat that elk
for months.
for if not the entire year.
Yeah,
He can't
yeah.
give the meat away. There's so much. So it's like, well, he's killing one. You're probably if you added up how much meat you're eating from like a market, just from like going to the supermarket and eating it, you're probably like way more. All
Well,
year.
let's also talk about how much land it actually takes to grow all this produce we're eating.
Right.
How many
Well, it also
animals are you
takes a
killing
lot of
that
land
way?
to have cattle and do all that too.
Equally,
I mean,
yeah.
the one thing like I think awareness is the most important thing, right?
Awareness.
So we're all
Okay.
we're all trying to make sure that we have like a future and the world is like a better place
I
for
mean,
people to live. But
sustainable
for
farm.
you to stand there and just say like don't eat meat, like that's not going to help people. They're not going to change their mind over that. It would be like if you don't, you have to educate people. Don't eat meat once a week, and like that significantly improves our the ozone layer or whatever it is. It decreases gases and whatnot. So if you educate people and they're able to think about that, if you're just standing there shouting don't eat meat and like dumping red paint on people, that's not helpful.
See, like my thing is this: like I feel like as much as I know the benefits of veganism and vegetarianism or things like that. But like I like the texture, I like the taste. You know what I'm saying? So like even like I've switched my diet to Asian so that I have like little slivers of meat. But like I still do like having it. It's annoying. I love having it though.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
no, I would
people do.
prefer like I do like anytime I go back to Africa, I love the food. It's way better, and I mean the animals are treated better. You feed them like right there. I mean,
Right. They kill the same day that you get it.
same day you get the meat. It's
Yeah, so much better. I just feel like there's in a free society, you have to allow people to just choose. Yeah, to choose whatever they want. So if they want to eat meat, let them do that. If they don't want to eat meat, you let them do that. This going around telling people you're an evil person. For being this way, and I think it's
it's holding the people accountable that are actually treating the animals that way.
Right,
like,
right,
you know,
right,
like
right.
where
That's true, too. Right.
people don't want their animals to be
Right.
tortured before they eat them, and like tortured and killed. People don't want
Most
that, but the industry,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
how it functions.
I mean,
like
my whole
it's whole-
family
we're
is like
approaching
a-
the wrong people.
Yeah.
true. I mean, but there are industries that are built. Like, have you ever had halal meat? Do you
No,
understand
I haven't
that?
eaten meat since I was 7.
Oh, fair. So like the whole tradition behind halal, like it's meat. It's you're supposed to treat the meat good. It's
yeah,
religious.
yeah, it's important.
You know what I'm saying? So like the that's some of like if you've ever been to a halal farm, it's some of the like they're out in pens. You know what I'm saying? They're treated very, very well, and then they're killed. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I could never like just blame the entire industry because they're in the same supermarkets. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Are they in Stop and Shop?
Yeah,
They are.
So
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I mean, and then it's, so providing that education to people that, like, you could choose what you want, too. I mean, unfortunately, it comes down to, like, a money thing most of the time, I'm sure.
Definitely.
So people are unable to make the choice that they want to make because just the price is too high.
Some people are just trying to live at the end of the day.
Right. A lot of people, unfortunately.
Most people,
unfortunately, like the majority of people are just trying to live, just trying to make it day to day.
Right. It's the same. It's the same way I feel about like the environment and everything like that. I understand the importance of trying to preserve the earth and everything like that. But people, like you said, they're trying to feed themselves.
There's too many of us.
Trying to have a place, one place to sleep. They can't really focus on the environments as much as somebody else who have a little bit more free time to be able to. Think
there are too many of us.
Until our society innovates enough to actually push, like. All the emissions, we don't need to use as many, or we discover a new technology where we could use some kind of cleaner, energy and things like that. Most people are just going to do whatever they do to get through the day or through the month or the year or whatever. So.
Right. But again, a lot of people don't know what they could be doing differently to make it better.
Yeah, and that's why I say awareness is so key.
Yeah.
I think people should be out there telling people this is what's available.
I reiterate your point.
I have no idea why the entire continent of Africa doesn't run on solar energy.
It should.
The amount of sunlight that fucking continent gets, there should be no all the fossil fuels should go to something else or not be pulled. I don't know. You know what I mean? There's no reason at all.
Probably power most of the world,
bro. We have a freaking huge ass desert. Like shit could just be all solar panels.
Well, you could float them too because the majority is water, and just put them out there.
Yeah.
No reason for that. You probably sustain the world off of that shit. Anyways.
Mm-hmm.
It's an idea.
People have to want to do it. People have to want to make that happen. And unfortunately, right now,
not enough people. Yeah,
our country,
our
leader of our country doesn't want to do that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough. I don't know. It's a tough. It's like a thin line between trying to think about the future and then trying to get people to think about right now and then try to get those people to think about the future also. Because if enough people would know about this, like in terms of awareness, we could probably change a lot of things like immediately.
Definitely.
But I think a lot of the reason why that doesn't happen is because so many people are so day to day trying to make it, trying to live. And so it makes it a little difficult. So when groups go out there and say, shame on you and you're a bad person, I think that's the wrong way.
I agree. I don't think that's helpful.
Right.
I mean, I don't think it's for everybody to be thinking future anyways. That's what the leaders are for.
Yeah.
It's their job. Make it impossible for people to do certain things. You know what I mean? That's what you'll have. That's what you're empowered to do. You're empowered to guide. So
not enough people are able to worry about their future, and that is the problem with our society, is that people are only living day to day, and they can't think about their goals and dreams and taking steps forward because it's so minute to minute.
No, true.
Because of the way that things are set up right now because of our society. So,
but I think that's the goal that should fall to the leaders. Like that's their job. Literally, the people.
I know, but we haven't been able to pick. Now is the time where we're going to have to really hold some. The people that are going to have to rise up here and make it so that we start treating each other the way that we really need to be. Because obviously we don't know how to pick the correct person or the person that's going to be the most beneficial person to have in power. We tend to get that wrong a lot of the time.
That's fair.
I don't think it matters either way.
Yeah, a lot of countries don't even pay attention to who's there. A lot of countries don't pay attention to who's in power. They really don't, because they're just because it is just day to day, and they are just living their lives and trying to figure out what their next best step is.
Right. True.
We're all trying to get to the same place, and that's just being able to live comfortably and happy with people around us that love us and support us.
See, I feel like a lot of people are just trying to get into the best position to complain about life.
Well, I hope not.
Because that's what it looked like half the goddamn time.
It's easy to do that. It's easy to do that. And when things are in such a negative state, it's very easy to kind of get sucked into that type of mentality.
Well, it's also just a large amount of people that do just disagree on a lot of things, and we're expecting them all to get along.
Well, you can disagree, but that doesn't mean you have to be negative. You can disagree
no,
about
but,
anything.
I mean, if you think about like lawmaking, like even something as controversial as like guns, like there's some people that are like, I don't think there should be any guns, and some people are like, well, I think that every gun should be allowed, and it's like, okay, well, if they don't want to compromise on it, then.
Well, I think the problem is that people think that they should tell other people what they should be doing, and unless there's a reason, like they're severely,
well, law's at least going to be telling us what.
Yeah, I know, but I think that the problem is that there are people that think that their opinion is more important than other people's, and that's why the laws are not made to benefit certain people, is because they're making laws depending on how they feel the laws should be made, and not for the benefit of the people or what's going to actually help the majority of the people that are here.
Because I mean, that's what makes Dave Chappelle jokes so hilarious. Because if every black person in this country armed themselves today, there will be no more guns on the street. There will be no more fucking guns.
Right, right. I mean, if you look at who's making the decisions and who's determining what's important to us. I mean, I work in healthcare, and I can tell you that there's not one, there aren't a lot of medical people that are trying to be consulted on like the universal healthcare bill. We should all be involved. Every nurse should be making that bill. We know what people need. We know what is affecting people. We know what's hurting people. We know what will help people. Nobody comes to my hospital and says, how can we make this better? Yeah. There's just people that are in politics where people are like stuffing their pockets with money and saying this is what we need to be doing, and it doesn't help anybody except for them, the people that are making money. So, it's
that's
a
what I mean.
screwed up system. It's so screwed up.
Have you I think a lot of the money. So have you seen where all the there's a lot of allocation for a lot of money coming in for marijuana going into like protection. Yeah, I think that shit should go into healthcare.
It should, absolutely.
That should go
Everything
into
should go
infrastructure.
Into
like infrastructure and healthcare. Like
infrastructure, education.
Education.
You know what I'm saying? Like
everything should go into education.
Those especially drug money. Especially drug money should go right into healthcare, education and shit. Like shit, that's the shit it ruins.
Or like if it is going to fund protection, then reallocate the military funds we already allocate to other stuff. But at that point, it's like, why reallocate it when you can just use it for other shit?
Definitely about stuff like that. Sometimes.
I mean, bro, like we have such an overage of military shit right now that police are having ATVs and shit like that. They don't need that.
But there are also some police stations that have like 4 people and they're driving cars from 1994 and they don't have I also don't think, workable radio.
You should be able to
so like I mean, New York should definitely be sharing with those people because I mean, if you have a tank, are you taking it too far? Share your money with someone else. Like the NBA does it, the police can't.
Yeah, I mean,
I think
have different needs too.
I think if you're a cop, you be a cop for 5 years and then you retire, and then the state takes care of you to an extent.
But the problem you run into is how do you replace those cops?
Well, you have to have succession plans.
You make being a cop more attractive.
You pay more.
But because you're only going to let them work 5 years because of the inherent PTSD they're going to accrue over the years.
You're so right. You're so right.
It depends where they
are. Also, a cop that's been doing it for 20 years.
In the city, yeah.
My stepmom was a federal agent for 30 years, and she saw some shit, dog. And I can tell you,
so I teach trauma-informed care, which I think like if the world was up to date on what trauma-informed care is, and we treated each other based off of this mentality, which is that, we all come from a past. Our lives are built from our experiences, and they're not always favorable.
I actually come from the future.
They're not always, some of us do, but, you're able to recognize that you're in this life right now. Yeah. But, we... everybody has their issues. Everybody has experienced trauma. 90% of Americans have experienced trauma.
Yeah, in some type of way.
In some type of way. And perspective is everything. So it's just like understanding that you gotta approach people in a way that they understand that you're not there to just
there's no war
be aggressive. You're not there to do anything to take advantage of or whatever. You're just there to be helpful and supportive.
We went back to Derringer pistol dueling.
But people like in that are police or that are nurses or mental health counselors especially like experience this secondary trauma, and people just aren't very aware that even just witnessing things, hearing about things, whatever, really throws people through a loop. Like your brain reacts to trauma very, there are significant changes in your brain when you are traumatized.
There's that, and I'm sorry, but I'm sick of meeting people from, I'm sick of meeting cops from in like Massachusetts, from like some back alley in like Tennessee. He's never seen me. I'm a mythical creature to him. You know what I mean? Like, don't have him on the police force. He's not going to treat me with respect.
No, I mean, there like studies show that even if like the same race doctor is more important.
No, it definitely is. Like, you police your own community. Like, I don't need that guy.
Right,
I don't need him.
That's the problem. It's like if you grew up here in a neighborhood in like, let's just say like Roxbury, and then you went to the police force, like then they're gonna station you like maybe in Colorado,
right?
And it's like, well, okay, I have no like emotional tie to this area. It's just a job for me. Right. Versus having people be a cop in the area they grew up, where it's like, oh hey, Mr. Wilson, hey Mrs. fucking Flibbity Floop that I like grew up knowing, and everyone that lives, oh, that's fucking old crazy Jed that lives on fucking 12th Street. Like, you know what I mean? You know the community.
True. I mean, but that's still a little bit better. At least in a Roxbury type area, there's no way I'm coming out and like I don't have white people experience. You know what I mean? So like it's a different type of white people, but at first I'm able to see them as a human being, and it's like, why are they so weird? You know, like that's a different question. Yeah. But like that's not a question that inherently has you shooting. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
sad to me.
Because I've heard people I've heard white people from cities say they get their black experience from BET, and like, what do you say to that?
Yeah,
you need to get out more.
13% of the population.
And go where? Because I met a comic that like I live in Roxbury, and he was like, "Yo, I'm scared to go to Roxbury." I'm like, "Why?" He's like he feels like he's gonna get robbed out there. You know what I mean? I'm like, "Yo, there's a whole college full of y'all there. Like, you're terrified." And like, if he has that opinion living in Massachusetts, think about the people that don't even live close.
I mean, it was good that he could admit that to himself, but he needs to like
get over it.
Go, yeah.
That sounds so
go over there, yeah.
Yeah. No, he does. I mean, he's been in that area once before, and he's still scared.
Yeah, but I don't. Is that a bad thing that he's scared?
Should he be?
Yeah, it stops him from going into that area. Yeah.
But if he. Well, he's free not to go there.
And ultimately, we know why he's scared. What is Roxbury primarily?
There's black people.
Yeah.
Okay, and like literally, he's not saying that about Dorchester,
right?
Savin Hill. Like, he's not terrified of those places, you know. And they have the same reputation. It's just one's black and one's white.
Yeah, but if he's not going around
terrified
saying
of
black
all
people should
of
be
them.
killed and stuff like that, why does it matter?
No, bro. Get over it. We're still people. You're not seeing them as people if you're terrified of them. What about people terrifies you? That's the problem.
Well, people terrify other people all the time.
For what reason? They have to be intimidating. What about them is intimidating? Express.
I can't answer that for him.
I've worked, like I just said, I told you earlier.
Unknown. It's just I don't know you. If I don't know you, I'm already.
So then why do you go outside?
Because you can't be a hermit.
I mean, do you ever really know anybody? Do you ever really know anybody? Would be the question. I mean, have you ever told anybody every single thing that you've ever been thinking all the time?
Of course
exactly. Not. So like we know what people put out to us is what we know.
Right, but I'm just talking first appearance either. If you're like on the street in an area you don't know.
I know, but what I'm saying is that we're a lot more relatable and we're a lot more connected than we think. So people, like I've worked in patient psych for the past 10 years, and you think like the sickest people that are very like decompensated as far as their mental illness, and being able to communicate with them just on a level of like, you know, you're safe and I'm here to support you, and I know that you're just trying to get better. You're just trying to get to a better place, which is what everybody's wanting to do. So it's your approach to people, I think. There are very few people that are just going to randomly attack you.
Yes.
Like there's very few people that are just going to do that. So there's really you should have your guard up, but you don't need to fear people. I mean, it's just if you're
no,
pleasant.
That's what I'm saying. I just have
do you know how many
with everyone.
Yeah. So
do you know how many white people have asked me or I had to acknowledge that every time I walk into a place, black people will acknowledge me? And it's not because I'm black. It has nothing to do with me being black. But they're like, yo, why does that happen every time you walk into a place? It's because I acknowledge them equally. Y'all walk into a place and don't say hi to anybody. Just streamline to the back of the fucking shit. You don't exist. If you treat a person like they don't exist equally, you don't exist to them too. So, and that's the thing. So you not going into these areas because you're terrified. These people either don't exist or are scary to you. They're going to treat you the same way. They're going to treat you the exact same way. And why shouldn't they? You're treating them with that same type of angst. If you're not walking in being wholesome and greeting to people, why should they be inviting to you? Why? You've been nothing but a jerk. You just walked right in. Like, I walk into a business, I say hi to the person. Anybody I walk by, I be like, hey, what's up?
I mean, we're not talking about business.
Yeah,
bro, anywhere you walk into.
But you don't know if he does that.
Bro, no, I said in my experience, okay. This is constantly brought up with me. Why people always acknowledge me when I walk into a place? Because I let them know that they exist.
I'm purely talking about just walking down the street in an area you don't know.
Right. Equally, do you not, like, when you walk down the street, do you nod to anybody?
Yeah,
hey, what's up? What's up?
Like, yeah, I do that.
Yeah, so there are people that, as long as you do that in the hood, you won't get in any trouble, bro.
Yeah, that's all I do.
Everybody likes to just be seen.
That could be. That could happen whether you're nice or not.
Bro, most times you walk, I mean, you're going to have to walk down with an air of confidence about you, but you give someone a head nod, you let them know that they exist. Most people are like, cool, keep it moving.
Literally my point was just in that scenario, I'm just as hesitant of like a white dude as a black dude as anyone when I'm walking down the street that they're, I just assume when I see strangers down the street, I do that. I'm like, hey, what's up and all that, but like, I just assume ill intent until like not.
No, I assume the same thing.
No, I mean, you need to be aware of your surroundings.
That's what I'm saying. I just don't trust random people.
Groups of people, I just don't trust.
Oh, especially groups.
Because I don't know what they're thinking.
Yeah, I get nervous around groups of people.
Or what they have planned.
Why do you think they're thinking about you at all?
It's not about what they're thinking. It's just historically, like what I've seen. So I don't. So let's say like when I was growing up, if I saw a group of people, I'd just cross the street and automatically, regardless.
Okay.
See, I may cross the street, or I'll say something. I'll take control of the situation by saying something and starting it off. So at that, they either like me or hate me in this moment.
You're also a big guy.
I love that fact.
Yeah. So that might change the
dynamic a lot.
Yeah.
I kept my head down and kept it pushing.
And I just look like a mass shooter, so usually
that
usually scares people the
really
fuck off.
Fucking do, bro.
No, you don't.
That's all right. I know.
It's her.
Mass shooters don't have
I heard the laugh.
Do we have any other more thoughts or anything like that, you guys? Well,
I have lots of thoughts.
Now. All right, that's the King's Podcast. Thank you for joining us. My name is Gerber.
Thanks, guys.
Charismatic. Thank you, Kerry.
Thank you, Kerry, for coming on. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Kerry, for coming.
Yeah.
Kerry Parsons.
Parsons. Sound like a singer. Yeah.
That was fun.
Yay, that was so fun.
I am glad. That point you brought up, that was the argument that we were having for like an hour.
It's time for your cheat check, nigga. Welcome to the gangbang dungeon. Shit ain't safe. If your chain hang, the jailers gon' snatch it. Even the warden stay straight thuggin'. White boys bloodin'. Black CIA agents corrupted. Flying cocaine planes hustling. Bank stay smoking.